Yes, ma'am. Very good morning. So this is a first class related to CMA inter direct taxation as well as indirect taxation. Paper number 7. Paper number 7. Okay. First, okay, 15 to 20 minutes or 10 minutes. I want to talk about the CMA inter course. You know already somehow, but I want to tell you in a different way also. How many groups are there? 2 groups. Okay. Group 1, group 2. So how many papers are already done in CMA foundation level? 4. 1 to 4. Now here we are starting with the 6. Any idea? Sorry, 5. Any idea? Law. 6. FA already started. Financial accounting. Paper number 7 is into 2 parts. First 7A is direct taxation and 7B is indirect taxation. 50-50. Okay. Next paper number 8. Any idea? Cost accounting. Simply we can call it as costing also. Okay. Coming to group 2. Where we are ended in group 1? 8. Now we started with the 9. Any idea about 9th paper? OM. Operational management and strategic management. What is it? Operational management and strategic management. Paper number 10. Corporate accounting and audit. Corporate accounting 60 marks, audit 40 marks. I think 50-50, sorry. 50-50. Next, paper number 11 and paper number 12. Any idea about paper number 11? Financial management and business data analytics. BDA. Business data analytics. Here FM 80 marks, BDA 20 marks. Business data analytics, pure theory topic. Financial management means nothing but problematic only. Next, management accounting. Here costing is there. For that costing it is in continuation. Management accounting. Yes. Okay. Now. So is any idea about paper pattern? Paper pattern idea is there? Okay. Now, these are the 8 papers we have to learn in CMA inter level. Then what about final? Yes, 13, paper number 13 to paper number 20. In that also we have 2 groups, 8 papers, the same pattern. Now, before going to the next, if okay, just one point I want to tell you. Many students are asking how to get the pass marks, or nothing but the many students are asking doubts regarding exemptions as well as the pass mark, etc. Now, okay, if student attempting both groups, how many marks they are required to get for qualification? 400. That means totally they need to get 400. But subject wise, at least how much they are required to get? 40. In every subject they are required to get 40 marks and altogether 400. Okay. First, if both groups attempted, okay, if student attempted the what, both groups. Can you tell me what is that point? I want to make one analysis whether you are going to write the single group or both groups. From this discussion only you need to decide now only. That is your wish only. We don't want to make any objection if you want to write single group or both groups, but we want to encourage for both groups. There is a reason. I will tell you first of all. If you are written both groups, subject wise, can you tell me how many marks we are required to get? Equal to also okay, or more than 40? Equal to also okay. plus one more condition we have to satisfy. What is that? Total marks in how many subject? Hey, 8 subjects, right? Total marks in 8 subjects. How many marks? More than or equal to how much? 400 marks. This is only the condition. Okay, sir. No, sir. I want to write single group. Yes, it's very vision leader. No problem. Can you tell me what is the condition? The same condition, but the only one change we have to make. What is that? Total marks in how many subjects now? 4 subjects more than or equal to 400 marks. 400 or 200? 200 marks. It is easy, right? Sir, always this is the best. I will tell you the reason. Right? Just one example I want to tell you. 40. My marks. Right? Okay, example. 42. Okay. Totally here 56. Here exactly 40. What is the total of group 1? Right? Total. You can use the calculator and you can tell me. Right? 178. Pass or fail, right? If you are written only group 1, fail only. You got subject wise 40 plus, but all together 178 only. Okay. No, sir. I attempted both groups. This is a group 1 result only. Group 2, I will tell you. My favorite subject, yes, sir. Corporate accounting and auditor. In that, I got 70 marks. Possible, right? Possible. Don't think about, sir, how we can get 70 or 80. Okay, possible only. Next, OM and SM, 65 marks. This is then 50 marks, and this is also again we got 56 marks. Can you tell me total? 245. 1 now. Okay. Now, if you attempted both groups, excess over 200 here is there, we can carry forward and set off in group 1. So total marks in both groups, now you can tell me. 418, 19. Okay, now the result passed. Always if you return the both groups, sir, again from now onwards if you tried for that exemption in the subject, definitely you will get. But in any attempt, definitely, okay, you always felt this subject as a difficult, but paper will be coming as an easy. Maybe you felt it as a difficult, but the basic problems only they can give in an exam also. So don't expect the paper trends and model paper, super 50 questions, important questions we don't want to reveal. Again, I am telling to you, we are going to give the revisions, marathons and all the things we will give. We will tell complete subject first of all. Okay, then after you have to study and we will give our help also. And don't expect, sir, can you give super 30 questions, sir? We will read only 30 questions. You can go and you can study anywhere. We don't want to give super 30 even for final also. Okay, if super 30 and super 50 will work out, definitely everyone will be qualified in the one attempt only. No need to give the results 10 or 20% in cmainter and final level. Institute given only 10 or 20% only. The reason, selective study. In the preparation level itself, if you are going for selective study, that is not at all work out in my point of view. Okay, definitely. So now, if you want to write a single group in June, yes, welcome. No, sir, I will study properly. I want to write it on the both groups in December. That is okay. But if you are capable, definitely we will suggest to write one group in June attempt itself. Okay. Now, sir, okay, here, unfortunately, here you got an 39. What is the total? Two 230. Here also you got an 29 only. What is the total? 150? 167. Now total 3. The result is what? Fail. Definitely unsuccessful only will come in your mark sheet. But one advantage is there. In which subjects we gotten more than 60 marks? This is called as what, ma? Exemption. Now in next attempt you have to write only how many papers, ma? 4 and 2. These 2 papers you can claim it as an exemption. But one more point. In next attempt they will count this as an 50 only, not 65, not 70. For calculation purpose or aggregate purpose, how many marks they will count? How many marks, ma? 65 and 70 only. Yes, you got, but they will count it as an 50 only in next attempt for aggregate purposes. This is a disadvantage in CMA examination. In CA examination, it will be counted as an 65 and 70 only. Example, I will tell you. Next attempt, student attempted only this group. Okay. He got 40, 40. Yes. And now for the exemption purposes, he didn't return these 2. But how many marks they will allocate for calculation purpose? 50 only. Total. Exactly how much? 200. Sorry? Okay. How many? 180. Understood. What is the disadvantage in this also? The simple, if you claim that exemption in next attempt, they will count it down the marks as an 50. But this loophole not known to all others, but I will tell you. Paper 5 and paper 6, paper 7 and paper 8. Now, just I will give the random number of marks. 75 you got, not 75. 60 you got exactly. 40, 40, 40. Fail or pass? Fail only. How many marks, ma? 180. But this you can claim it as what? Exemption. This is an first attempt. This is your first attempt. Second attempt. Now you can tell me, you want to claim this exemption or you want to appear exam again? You want to appear exam again. Why? They will be counted for how many marks? 50. No, there is a condition in institute. If you claimed in remaining all subjects more than 40, this will be counted as an 60 only. In the last case, you failed in one subject. That's why these 2 counted as an 50. Here, how many marks they will count it for aggregate purpose in next attempt? 60. There is a reason. Why? What is the reason? You got an minimum 40 marks in other subjects. Yes, I will challenge to all this point. Yes, it is not at all known to others. Okay. Definitely. If you claimed 40 marks in 3 subjects, if you got exemption, claim exemption. They will count it as an 60 only. But here, I will suggest to write again in the next attempt. Maybe you can score more than 50 also. But here, already you got 60 means they will count it as an 60. No need to write. Prepare all the other 3 subjects again. Understood? These are the exemption rules. In future, no need to ask with anybody. You can make your own decision. Understood? Yes. Now, so we can jump to our discussion. What is that paper number? 7. What is that paper number 7? Normally we can call it as an taxation. But in this we have 2 papers, 2 parts. One is a 7A, another one is what? 7B. Okay. 7A. What is that? Direct taxation. What is a direct taxation? 7B. Indirect taxation. You don't know anything about these words also, I know, but I will tell you in detailed manner everything. Listen carefully. Okay. Sir, how many marks, sir? This is 50 marks. Another indirect taxation, whatever is there, that is also for 50 marks. This will be taken by the Midun Reddy, sir. This part alone I will take. Direct taxation part alone I will take. Now, sir, 50 marks and 50 marks are totally, it will be counted as on one paper. So what is that paper pattern? First of all, paper pattern we want to learn, then after we can study. Sir, our paper is totally descriptive or totally MCQ or combination? Combination. In foundation also combination, huh? Totally objective. Huh? Negative marks are there? No negative marks. Okay. Super. Then in final, paper will be classified into two parts. In your final examination paper, after this class you can open the past examination papers. I will show you that related websites also. Okay, how to download the past exam papers and all the things I will show you. Now first, what is that part A? What is that? Part A. Second part, part B. Part A is compulsory question. Compulsory means if you attempt it, okay, otherwise you will lose marks. There is no choice in this, and you have to attempt this part A. Definitely, this part A is luckily what? MCQs. Sir, why you are saying luckily, sir? There is no negative marks. No need to write explanations also. Just you have to bubble in OMR sheet. Sir, whether it is an easy or difficult, you can decide after 10 or 20 days whether these MCQs are easy or difficult. How many marks, sir? They are going to give 15 MCQs. Each one 2 marks. Totally 30 marks. But if you prepared very well along with the classes, definitely you can score 24. Any subject, if you are not listening to classes, if you are not practicing, you will get 6 marks instead of 24. That is depends upon you only and revisionary only. Next, negative marks are there or no negative marks? No negative marks. And explanations are required or not required? So definitely it is a looting chance for the students in the examinations. Luckily if you chosen one option, if that is correct, you will get 2 marks. But out of 4 options, we have to choose one. If they are given 2 options, that is better. Out of 4 options, we have to choose what? One option. That is a difficult. The chance is 25% only. If they are given only 2 options, then we can get an answer. 50% of chance is there. Shall we make a letter to the icmai regarding this? It will not at all work out. So no need to bluff or no need to do any magic. Just if you prepare, within seconds you can pick up an answer. No need to calculate anything also on calculator. Directly you can make. No. Sir, mainly I want to highlight this point. Every attempt I want to make a video before examination starting date. These MCQs, you have to bubble it on OMR sheet. Okay, in the first page of OMR, in the last only, they given 30 MCQs related options. You have to bubble in an OMR sheet. Sir, why you are telling these things in detailed manner? You don't know, final students are written the MCQs answers in the answer sheet instead of OMR. Nearly 6 or 7 students. Okay, not our institute, whether they are okay, outsiders also, any others also, after examination they are messaging me, sir, I written the answers for that particular subject in answer sheet, sir, without bubbling it on OMR. Definitely you will lose this 30 marks, sir. They will not allocate to you. The listen, the first instruction, OMR sheet you have to check. In that OMR you have to bubble it. Next. How many marks over? 30 marks. Sir, if 30 marks are over, then 70 marks is related to what? Part B, descriptive. And again, sir, in these MCQs, how many marks from DT, how many marks from IDT? That I will tell you later. The first combinedly paper 7 pattern, this one. Within that also, DT proportion is there, IDT proportion is also there. Now, part B. Any idea? How many questions they are going to give? Descriptive. 7, okay, super. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of 7 questions, how many we have to write it down? 5. Any 5 or in order we have to select? Any 5. Okay. Out of how many questions? 7 questions we have to write. Okay, 2 questions choice. Whatever that expression is correct only. Out of 7, 2 is choice, means nothing but we have to write 5 questions. Question number 2. Why question number 2? This is question number 1 completely. Question number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? In this, we have an A, B. Every question, two questions. Question number 4 contains also 2. Question number 5 also contains 2 questions. Sir, question number 6 also contains how many? 2. Each question carries how many marks? 7 marks. Combinedly, this question contains how many marks? 14 marks. 2A, how many marks? 7 marks. 2B, 7 marks. Combinedly, 14 marks. That means, how many questions we have to attempt? 5. 5 into 14, how many marks? 70 marks. But remember, the paper will come for 128 marks. Why 128 marks, sir? Here, they are given 7 questions. 7 into 14, how many marks? 98 plus 30 marks, totally 128 marks paper you will get. There is no choice in the part A MCQs. In part B only you can choose the questions. But, okay, while choosing the questions, definitely you have to think properly. Question number 6, always GST theory question. That too first chapter questions only. If started the sessions, within the first 6 to 7 days, you can write the 6th question itself directly. Sir, how can I check that questions? I will tell you at the end of the session how to download the past exam papers, how to download institute resources. Always I will tell you. And I think all of you having the smartphones, right? Unnai andar daggara? Leva? Manchidi. Next. Sir, you told that paper patterns are somehow we understood, but how many marks we can expect from DT? How many marks we can expect from the IDT? Now I will tell you the question wise also. Yes, sir, question wise also. Can you tell me question number 1? How many marks? 15 MCQs. First 6 MCQs in order they will give for the DT. 9 MCQs from IDT. There is a less importance to me in this area, because for me they are allocating how many MCQs? Only 6 MCQs. Okay, listen, I will share this PDF. No need to write it down. Okay, just this is an overall view only. This is not at all subject. No need to write it down. Just listen. Anna question number 2. Anna, how many A and B. A question carries 7 marks. B question also carries 7 marks. Totally 14 marks. This is totally my question only. Okay. And if you asking the, sir, which question I can expect in A, I will tell you also. Not question, which chapter. Sorry, not question. If I am saying question, definitely no need to take coaching. Okay. From which chapter we can get A. Which chapter we can get B. Most probably they will give from the chapter only. But if they want to change the pattern, they can change. We can't ask to them also why you are changing the paper pattern. In final level, they changed everything in the last attempt. In enter level, they are given normally only. Okay. Next question also. How many parts will be there? A, B. Carries totally 14 marks. This is also my question only. Next question number 4. How many ma? A, B. This is also my question only. Question number 6, question number 7, and last question is what ma? 8th. Yes, in this also we have an A, B, and this is an what ma? A, B. I think one is missed, I think. Question number 5. A, B. Now please tell me, are this IDT, 8th one is an IDT, 7th one also IDT, 6th one already I told theory questions they will give, always theory questions. Okay, IDT. Sir, equally apportioned. 3 questions to me and 3 questions to IDT. Then this question. Any idea? Just guess. Whether, sir, if you observed up to now, 2 to 4 DT, 6 to 8 also, 6 to 8 IDT. Then question number 5, equally apportioned. No, this is also my question, because they given the less weightage in where MCQs. Now, if you open the paper, first of all, maybe if I am saying these things to you now, definitely you will not accept it, but I will tell you. If you are opening the any question paper, if you identify question asked from which chapter, definitely you will get pass marks. First criteria, that is only. After checking the question paper, whether you know that answer or you don't know that answer, that is different issue. If you identify the question, this question from this chapter, this question is related to this concept, if you identify that, you will get pass marks. Okay. Now, can you tell me how many descriptive questions related to DT? 2, 3, 4, 5. Totally 4 questions. 4 into 15 marks, 56 marks. Next, these 3 related to IDT. Next here, 6 MCQs only. Now, wait a minute. You can Google it, just ICMAI past exam papers. ICMI past exam papers. You will, okay, directed to the ICMI website. Just ICMI past examination papers. Whatever that examination papers are there, automatically they uploaded in their site. Okay. Now we can check December 25 term. Okay. This is an inter 5 to 12 papers and final 13 to 20 papers. And now we can open our paper number 7, right? Okay. This is only the last attempt paper. Okay. You don't know anything, but I will open it because you have to get an idea, basic idea about the paper. Basic idea means nothing but no need to learn anything from this paper. But many students having this some phobias, sir. Inter level means difficult, sir. Okay, just we passed in foundation with the border marks or how many marks also, that is not at all matter now. Foundation and inter, final, everything is one and the same if you learned in a perfect manner. Okay. Already I told, question number section A, part A is what? MCQ compulsory, matched. How many MCQs they given? How many MCQs ma? 15 MCQs into 2 marks, one section is over. Now I will tell you. You don't know these things, but I will tell you. First, this is a DT MCQ. This is also what ma? Direct taxation MCQ. Direct taxation. Direct taxation. Direct taxation. Direct taxation. That's it. How many MCQs? 6 MCQs. Next, coming to descriptive part, 2A DT, 2B DT. Each question carries how many marks? 7. Then after 3A, 7 marks DT, 3B, 7 marks DT. Maybe while you are seeing this, this much of length questions they are given. These are very easy questions. First, if you are absent for the session, if you are absent, yes sir, for that any session or any part of the class, maybe the chapter, particular chapter will be difficult for you. The remaining will be easy only. Next, S4A DT, 4B DT, yes, 5A DT, 5B DT. That means 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. Sixth I told what? Theory question. IDT only, but theory question. Is there any information is wrong in my side? From my side, whatever I told, please follow it. Definitely you can get marks. Okay, in other subject, okay, whether who are telling this, okay, Bonu sir or Midun Reddy sir or nothing but Naveen sir, whoever delivered the subject, they are already made an analysis in that subject. Please follow that. Okay, this is first chapter questions. Definitely always, okay, you can, okay, then 7A and 7B also what ma? IDT, 8A, 8B. Now, sir, 8th question generally practical question they will give, but last time they given theory. Last time Midun Reddy sir given an analysis before exams. In that this question is there. You can check that YouTube video also. Now also that YouTube video is there in our channel. Okay sir, you given only one paper sir. No, we didn't satisfied with the one paper. Okay, we can check any other also. Okay, from this new syllabus started from the December 23. December 23 onwards, you can tell me any paper I will open. 6th question is theory or not, you can check. Okay, this is nothing but December 2024 paper I opened randomly. Now, if I am asking any type, what is the 6th question means, you have to tell what? Theory. DT questions means 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B, 4A, 4B, 5A, 5B. Then 6th and 7th and 8th IDT. How many MCQs related to DT? 6. The remaining 9? How many marks we have to attempt? 100. But how many marks question paper will come? 128 marks. These things you have to remember definitely. I hope. Okay, ma. This is also our 1 MCQ, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Then it is an IDT 6th onwards. Questions also always we know 1st and 2nd and same question in the last attempt also. If you identified features and concept of indirect taxation, this is also 6th question. Same question they given. Only 5 or 6 theory questions are there. Out of that 5 or 6 you will get the one. Next, I already told always they will give 8th question practical. Here practical only. But in the last attempt only they given this is also what? Theory. Now that everything about the direct taxation and indirect taxation paper you know. Everything about the direct taxation and indirect taxation paper you know. Now we can start the taxation subject. Not direct taxation, taxation subject we can start. Next class I will start with the direct taxation. Sir will come up with the indirect taxation. Okay. Now you have to give the heading taxation. Yes, now you have to give the heading in the notes. Anywhere you can write it down. What is that, ma? Taxation. First point, now I want to know meaning of tax. Our subject is itself for taxation, right? Now I want to know the meaning of tax. Anyone, okay? If you know also, if you don't know also, no problem. Please try to explain the meaning of tax in your own words. If you given reply, then I will forward to the discussion. Then okay, then only I will forward to the next point. Please try to define the meaning of tax. Any idea? Sorry? Charge we can paid on profit. Okay, charge which are paid on profit. Okay. Any idea? Okay, now tax means the first of all. Who can collect the tax? Government only, na? Can I collect the tax? Why? Okay. That means definitely you are saying the tax means an amount collected by the government. Okay. What is the reason for collecting? That is a different issue. But who can collect the tax? Government can collect the tax from the public. All others. Okay. That means you are saying I can't collect the tax. Okay. Now that fees, or we can call it as amount. Okay. Anything also okay. Tax means a fees or an amount charged by. Charged by or collected by. Anything also you can write it down, no problem. Collected by whom? Government. Now I want to know what do you mean by the government? Central government or state government? Both. Okay. But in my village, panchayat is there. They are collecting water tax from me. That means you are saying both means state or central only. But in my locality, they are collecting the building tax as well as water tax, sewerage tax, that is a municipal taxes they are collecting. Why I required to pay? Because you said government means state or central government. But in my locality, local authorities, municipality, panchayat, corporations, the local governments are there. I think you know in local body elections, sarpanch elected, MPTC elected, mayors also elected. They are also collecting the tax. That means what do you mean by the government now? Central government, state government, local authorities. You have to add local authorities. Anyone can collect the tax within their powers. Before going to the third point, first I want to tell you second point. Sir, it is a voluntary payment or mandatory payment? Mandatory. Example, for charitable trust, if I want to give the donation, that is a voluntary only. No one can give any force to give the amount to the charitable trust. Remember, the tax payment is an mandatory payment or compulsory payment. It is not an voluntary payment. Okay, that is only that another MCQ. Yes, what is that point, ma? Tax is obligatory. What is that? Obligatory payment or mandatory payment. Obligatory or what, ma? Mandatory payment. Within the bracket I can write it down. It is not a voluntary contribution or it is not a voluntary payment. If you are required to pay the tax, mandatorily you have to pay the tax. That is not a voluntary, that is not an optional payment. Okay, Dana. Now third point, I want to concentrate on the what do you mean by the government. Already I given a hint. Yes, what do you mean by the government means you decided to write only two. Can you tell me now we have to write two or three? Three. The first, central government. Next, state government. Local authorities. This word you have to remember for a long time. Local authorities. This is only we can call it as a local self governments. Okay, I will define in another way. Sir, in India, the first government is central government. That means a centralized level. Okay, every state having one government. Below the state government, we have a local self governments. Example. Okay, we can take AP. Okay, AP example state. Now, please let me know. Central government, nothing but what NDA. State AP particularly, nothing but what the TDP and JSP and BJP alliance is there, right? Okay. But local authorities means in your village, maybe he's an independent, Sarpanch is an independent person, or maybe he is related to YCP also. This is a less than which government? State government, independent governments in that locality. Okay, mandal level, there is an MPTC. Yes, city levels, there is a mayor also. So that's why remember the local authorities are always less than which government? State government. Definitely this will be called as an local self governments. Local self governments. Sir, I want to know the more details about this, sir. Yes, you can get no problem. The first one, yes first one, village level. Next one, town level. Next one, city level. The village level local authorities will be called as an panchayat. Next we can call it as an municipalities. Yes, this is called as an corporations. Yes, already in Telangana Panchayati elections over. Now, which elections are in pending? Municipal and corporation elections are in pending. Now, please let me know who will be. Yes, main persons. Panchayat means municipality, corporations means mayor or corporator. Understood? No. That means any one of these governments can collect the tax. Super. Now I have a doubt. Why? Government only required to collect the tax. You and me cannot collect the tax. Okay, you are saying, okay, we don't have any right to collect the tax. But who have a right to collect the tax? Government. Who given that right to them? What do you mean by the constitution? Okay. He said one new word to us. What is that new word? Constitution of India. Okay. Constitution of India. In our act, that means Indian Contract Act, Partnership Act, Sale of Goods, you know everything. Okay. In that we have in sections. Section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, different section numbers are there. In Constitution of India also, they given the sections. Instead of sections, they given articles. Instead of sections, they given what? Articles. Now, sir, many articles are there. Sir, do I need to refer all the articles? Not required. For our discussion purpose, I want to bring the two articles. If you are interested, I will show the Constitution of India PDF also. I will show you these two articles. Otherwise, I will go in another way. If you are interested and if you are tell me that answers and if you participated, then I will go behind also. Otherwise, I will show you. You have to remember this. I will tell you on your face itself, you have to buy her these articles. I don't want to show anything. If you are interested to participate, I will tell you other topics also, that is which is useful for your discussions, not others. Article number 265 Anna. Next article. Okay, here we given 265. Definitely it isn't 266. 2 correct. 6 correct. In between you have to replace 4. 246. These two articles only you have to remember in our paper. Okay. Sir, what article 265 is saying? Yes, sir. They are saying, if you want to collect the tax in India. Yes, sir. If you want to collect the tax in India, you need to get in support from law. If you want to collect the tax in India, you need to get in support from law. Without law, you can't collect the tax. Example, we are paying income tax. There is any law for income tax? Income Tax Act 1961. That recently, I think 7 years back, they introduced the GST. For collecting the GST laws are there. If you want to collect the tax in India, definitely they need to get a support from law. Without law, you can't collect the tax. That is only 265 content. Okay. What is that content they given? No tax shall be levied. I want to write it down in a negative way. No tax shall be levied or collected except what? Except by authority of law. Simple. If you want to collect the tax, you need to get a support from law. Without law, you can't collect the tax. Understood? Now, sir, they are saying in a beautiful way, sir. Definitely here, public required to pay the tax. The government required to collect the tax. So in between these two fellows, if there is a law, definitely we can pay properly, they can collect properly. There is a fair distribution also. So that's why definitely law is required. Without law, they will ask the whatever that income is there in your hands, that entire income they will ask it as a tax. Okay, psycho governments will be there in some times. Okay, upon that time they will ask everything. So that's why if there is law, as per law only they are required to ask. Okay, then here we locked with the law. Now, how to frame the laws? Akka bane unnai akka cheytulu. How to frame the laws? Huh? Sorry? We should pass a bill in Parliament. Okay. Both the houses of Parliament. Then that will be called as an water law. Okay. Right. President's signature also required. Who is the president now? Huh? Okay. Right. Avana exam lo. Okay. Now, so definitely article number 265 said that law is required. 246 is saying that who can frame the laws? Simply Parliament at a central level. Central level whom? Parliament. State level? Assembly. Sir, who can be members in Parliament? MPs. The member of parliaments will become the members in Parliament. Here, Assembly, MLAs. The member of legislative assembly, they can become the members in what? Assembly. Both these things, that means Parliament and Assembly can make the laws regarding to it. Not only the tax related laws, all the laws also framed in India, central level Parliament, state level Assembly. Now, please tell me, the Parliament, next, and state legislature. State legislature means nothing but assembly. Have a power to make laws. Have an power to make laws. Okay, that means law is required. Law can be framed by whom also we know. I will tell you the practical way of releasing any law. Ma'am, no need to write it down. If it is written, just listen carefully. This is assume it as an parliament. Okay. So nothing but suppose finance minister or any other committee, they are proposed a bill. Finance minister or any other committee, they will propose a bill. Bill means nothing but that act draft only. So we can't call it as an act until that approval given by the both the houses of parliament. First, they will introduce the bill in the parliament. So next, here both the houses means what ma? Lok Sabha, Raj Sabha. In the both the houses, they will introduce this bill. Bill means nothing but they will read it out everything and they will tell you what they given in this bill also. Simply act. Now, here we have to take an approval. How to take approval? By using the votes. Some cases we need to get an 3/4 or 50% of the votes in favor if got. Nothing but okay sir, suppose 400 members are there, just example. If 201 members are accepting this bill, that is what approval is done. If approval is done, that will be forwarded to whom? President. Yes, if president given the assent means his signature, now that bill will be converted into act or law. Every time this is only the procedure. If they want to frame any law at parliament level, this is a procedure. But in state level, simply any minister will introduce the bill, MLAs will approval. Then after whose consent is required? Governor consent is required. Understood? This is only the procedure for framing the laws. So I think in 2 years back, not 2 years, 4 or 5 years back, Disha Act is there in AP and Telangana. That is also framed in this way only. Any law also they will frame this way. Can you tell me who given the power to both the houses of parliament and state legislature to make the laws? The Constitution of India, article number 246, given the power to them. Because of this power only they can frame the laws whenever they want. Now, one instance is happened in AP and Telangana. This I think any other that issue. Because of that issue only, that immediately AP and Telangana governments are framed a law. The reason they have an power, they can make laws. Understood? Now, this is not at all our important discussion, but you need to know the flow. Again, come back to this discussion. How many articles we discussed? 265, 246. But the only one mistake is there. The students will write it down. Students will write it down this as a reverse way. First we discuss 265, then after 246. Okay, now, sir, anyhow, who framed the laws? Okay, here indirectly central government. Here what state government can make the laws. Now, in India, central government is collecting the income tax. I don't want to talk about indirect taxes like GST and customs duty. I want to talk only about the direct taxation, that is income tax. So if I am getting income, I require to pay the tax. I am getting salary income, I require to pay the tax. That is called as what? Income tax. I am doing business, from the business I got profit, from that profit I require to pay the tax. That is an income tax. Now, who are collecting the income tax now in India? Central government is collecting. This is a centralized levy, not state government. Okay. Now, because of collecting the income tax, already they framed a law, right? Now collecting the tax, that is income tax, means already they framed law. What is the law? Income Tax Act 1961. What is that year? Income Tax Act 1961. Long ago framed. Now, still I have a doubt whether this law is there or not. Definitely law is there. Now, what is that flow, ma? What is that flow? Whatever the laws already framed by using these article numbers, that all the laws will be written in the article number 246. From constitution implementation onwards, till now, whatever the laws framed by the parliament as well as state legislature, yes sir, parliament as well as state legislature already they given or they maintain the list in which article? 246. Now I want to enter into article number 246 in a deep manner. Okay, please listen. Many schedules are there. That means the first constitution break it down into what, ma? Articles. Within the articles we have in schedules. Constitution of India first breaking down into articles. Within the articles we have in different schedules. And now I want to start the 7th schedule. What is the schedule? 7th schedule to the article number 246. 3 list they given. How many list, ma? 3 lists. Okay, what is that, Flora? 7th schedule to the article number 246 contains how many lists, ma? 3 list. Okay. First list 1. Second list 2. Third ఇది కూడా చెప్పట్లేదంటారా మీరు? లిస్ట్ 3. ఓకే, ఐ వాంట్ టు గివ్ ది అప్డేటెడ్ థింగ్స్. యూనియన్ లిస్ట్. వాట్ ఈస్ దట్, మా? యూనియన్ లిస్ట్. ఎస్, దిస్ ఇస్ అన్ స్టేట్ లిస్ట్. యూనియన్ మీన్స్ వాట్, మా? సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్ లెవెల్ లిస్ట్. యూనియన్ మీన్స్ నథింగ్ బట్ సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్. దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్, మా? స్టేట్ గవర్నమెంట్. కాంకరెంట్. కాంకరెంట్ మీన్స్ వాట్, మా? బోత్ మిక్సింగ్. కాంకరెంట్ మీన్స్ వాట్, మా? బోత్ ద మిక్సింగ్. నౌరా, whatever the laws framed by the state governments, they given the one by one laws in this list. Laws means not entire content, the name of laws. Both the central and the state government combinedly, if any law framed, that is in the list 3. Now our Income Tax Act 1961 is framed by the central government. Central government only now collecting the tax. That means our Income Tax Act 1961 under which list, ma? List 1, that is only union list. No. What is the name of the act? Income Tax Act 1961. Okay. From constitution implementation onwards, the many laws are framed. One by one law is framed. They are given the entry number to this article number 246, 7th schedule. Example, today one law framed, okay, by state government. Now they have to enter into the list. Already 100 laws are there. Now entry number is what? 101. Like that, they given entry number on the time to the our Income Tax Act 1961. Can you guess entry number? Income Tax Act 1961 framed in 1961 itself. After framing, they entered into this union list. The name of the act entered into this union list. Can you guess any entry number? 82. Before this law, 82 laws are already framed by the central government. In 1961, this list updated with this entry number 82. What is that? Income Tax Act 1961. Income Tax Act 1961. Now, this The main agenda of this Income Tax Act 1961 is collect the taxes on incomes. Yes, sir? Taxes on incomes other than one income is exempt here. My father is an agriculturalist, farmer, but he is not at all paying the tax on agricultural income. If he got an income, okay, unfortunately, sometimes he will get an income. On this income, he is not at all paying the tax. The reason, at the time of introduction of this Income Tax Act 1961 itself, we want to collect the tax on income other than agricultural income. Remember, there is a possibility of collecting the tax on agricultural income also, but union or state government will not collect because this power is removed here. But in some cases, the state government can collect the tax. But as of now, state government is also not collecting the taxes on agricultural activities. Understood? Now, if I am asking the flow entry number 82 of an union list to that which schedule? 7th schedule, to that article number 246, Constitution of India, given the power to collect the taxes on what? Incomes. Our discussion, then after the same discussion will discussed by the other faculties also, IDT faculty, he will tell the whatever the entry numbers are there in this. Now our discussion is direct taxation, means an example income tax. Income tax collected by the whom? Central government. Who given the power? 265 saying if you have a law, you can collect the tax. Who framed the law? State government, central government framed the laws. Okay, then what is the law source? I will tell you. Entry number 82 of union list to the 7th schedule to the article number 246 of an Constitution of India, given the power to central government for collecting the income tax. Not tax, income tax now. Understood? How many MCQs we covered? This is an MCQ. Yes, these lists are also MCQs. These article numbers are MCQs. Local authority you can expect as an MCQ. This they will not ask, don't worry. Understood? Pakka? Now, tomorrow I will start with the purpose or objective behind the collection of tax. Purpose or objective behind collection of tax. Okay, the government showing the proof also, they have an power, that power given by the laws. So all the things, yes, given clearly in Constitution of India. Now, why they collecting the tax first of all? Okay, definitely I will pay the tax. That is a mandatory payment, not an optional also. I will pay. But what is the objective behind the collection of tax, or what is the purpose behind the collection of tax? Any idea? Ma? Yes, ma. I will tell you. First, from public, government collecting the tax. Government is expended also. That means whatever the tax they collected, that is an expended also for what purpose? Public purposes only. Yes, tax collected from the government, and that is utilized also for public. So now we can say simply the government is nothing but the mediator here. In order to balance all the human beings, they are acting as a mediator. If you are a rich person, pay the tax. If you are a poor person, I will give the subsidies to you. Yes, kg 1 rupee or free rice and free current and pensions as well as midday meals, etc. Simply they are mediators only. Understood? Now, these objectives will be two. Tomorrow I will tell you what are the two objectives for collection of the tax. he said development purposes, that is an one, that is economical. I said that free distributions, etc., that is an social. Two objectives. What are the two objectives? Social, economical objectives purposes. They will collect the tax. Now, yes, what is that? Social objectives. Another one is what? Economical objectives. Which one is better? Economical objectives are better. So construction of dams, construction of roads and any development activities is economical. Social means nothing but what? Free to all of you. Yes, we are collecting so much money from the others and we are giving the distribution as a free. Okay. The tomorrow I will tell you some examples to this, and within half an hour we can complete this introduction and we can start the basic concept. Okay. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Next, fourth point, we started our discussion with the purpose or objective behind the collection of tax. Who are collecting the tax, ma'am? Government. From whom? Public. So nothing but they are collecting from public and they are utilizing also for public purpose. That means the government is here mediator. So what are the objectives, ma'am? Social objectives. Second one, economical. Economical means simply development related activities. Second one, social means nothing but the freebies. Okay, now we can write some examples here. Please write along with me. Social objectives example. You have to tell me. Social objectives example. Subsidies. Subsidy means nothing but kg rice around 50 rupees. But in our ration shops we are getting for that free or 1 rupee or 2 rupees also. That is called as subsidy. So less than cost only they are providing. Yes, government is purchasing from the farmers at a market price only, but they are giving it to the people only 1 rupee, 2 rupee. That is only called as what? Subsidy. Normally the tractors are 5 lakh to 10 lakh, but they are giving it at 1 lakh, 2 lakh to the farmers. That is only called as subsidy. Next, grant also. Yes, sir. Some cases the government can give the grant to that industries also. Next, free power also. Power facilities. Power facilities to whom? Farmers. Not to all. Yes. So these are all are what? Etc. Many things are there. Pensions, etc. These are all are what? Social objective. Next, coming to that economical objective, that is on road construction, dam construction, railways, yes ma, railways and defense, security. These are all are what ma? Development related objectives, that is economical objectives. Understood as of now? Next. 4 points. From these 4 points also we can expect MCQs. Now we can start with the fifth point. Shall we start? Okay. In India, how many types of taxes are there? How many types of taxes are there? Broadly, we have 2 types of taxes. One is on what? Tax 1. Another one is on tax 2, right? Direct tax, indirect tax. So taxes are classified into 2 types. One is an direct tax. Our subject name also this is only. The second one is what? Indirect tax. Indirect tax. Direct tax, and in shortcuts we can call it as an IDT and DT. Now, so main differences between these 2 things I want to know. But I want to tell you one by one in a detailed manner. The first one, if I am earning any income, I require to pay the tax. This is called as what? Income tax. That is only one and only example for direct tax. Okay. So 2 types of taxes are there. In public now, one tax is collected, that is income tax. That is only example of direct tax. Okay. GST and customs duty are there, that is an examples of indirect taxes. Now I will tell you, if any tax, what is that? if any tax collected on income earned by, if any tax collected on income earned by a person is called as direct tax. Is called as what ma? Direct tax. If any person and the income, on that income, if any tax is collected, that is called as what ma? Direct tax. But you can replace the word of income tax also, no problem. Because one and only example of direct tax is what ma? Income tax. Now, I will tell you, B point. Ma, Mr. A earned the salary income. Mr. A earned the which income? Ra? Salary income. Now, on the salary income, he required to pay the tax to the government. Okay. Now, I am asking two questions to all of you. Who is doing the payment of tax? Mr. A. Or some amount if we expended out of our pocket, definitely we have some pain. Okay, if our own money expended, definitely we have some pain. So now that pain also now in the hands of whom? Mr. A. Payment done by Mr. A. Burden of that money also on Mr. A. So if payment and burden, both the things are lies in the hands of same person, that is called as which tax? Direct tax. Yes. Now payment of tax, what is that? Payment of tax, and next burden is lies in the hands of, please tell me ma, is lies in the hands of same person. Now these two things are in the hands of same person or different person? Same person is called as what? Okay, example of direct tax is income tax. Super. Next, one example I want to know. Please tell me. See. Okay, one example I want to know for this. A direct tax example. If you are asking, I will say only one thing. What is that, ma? Income tax. So now I define the direct tax. Now I want to write it down. Indirect tax. First point. If any tax collected on goods or services. Yes, sir. What is that, ma? Tax collected on supply of goods or services. Alright, now I am purchasing some goods from the others. Definitely I required to pay GST. No, I am getting some services from the no broker, nothing but home cleaning services, etc. Here also I required to pay what? GST. So here what is that important point that we have to observe? If any goods supplied or services are supplied, definitely we have to pay one tax, that is called as GST. That is an example of what, ma? Indirect tax. And one more, and import and export of goods. Sir, if you are doing import and exports, which type of tax we have to pay, ma? Customs duty. Yes. Now, if any tax collected on supply of goods and services, import and export of goods is called as, tell me ra, is called as indirect tax. So, okay. But before going to that second point, ma, now directly I want to know the examples. Please tell me two examples, ma. GST and customs duty. GST related, why we are required to pay the tax, ma? Supply of goods and services. Custom duty, import and export. C point. Now here I want to write it on P. Sir, I want to express the meaning in other way. Mr. Yera, he wants to purchase the, yes ma, one Lux soap from the shop. Okay. How much amount? Just please tell me. I don't know the Lux soap price. Please tell me. Ma? 45. Okay, round figure I will take akka 52. How it will be round figure, sir? I will tell you. Oh, 50 is round figure, but now 52 is round figure. I will tell you. Now, remember how the price is comprises. The 50 is MRP. Sorry, 52 is MRP including taxes. 2 rupees is tax. This 2 rupees is what ma? Tax. Who paid the tax here? Mr. A paid the tax. Because at the time of purchasing the soap, I am paying a MRP including taxes. If you are seeing that any price tax also, maximum retail price within the brackets including taxes. That means you are paying tax also. But ultimately, shopkeeper who are selling the Lux soap to the consumers or public, they are required to pay the tax to whom? Government. Now this 2 rupees is paid to the government by whom? Shopkeeper. Now here I will write a question. And a payment done to the government by whom? Shopkeeper. Government collecting the tax, or for government who are making the payment, shopkeeper only. But burden, pain, whose money that one? Mr. A money. Payment is in the hands of one person, the burden done by the another person. But in the last case, both the things are lies in the hands of the same person. But here, ultimately I am paying the amount, pain is in my hands, but who is transferring that money to the government? Just here, shopkeeper pass on the taxes, but he is not paying any tax. Understood? Now, you can write it down. Payment and burden does not lies in the hands of same person. Is called as what? Indirect tax. Understood? Yes. Payment of tax. Payment of tax. Next, burden is not lies in the hands of. Is not lies in the hands of. Super akka. Same person is called as indirect taxes. Examples GST and customs duty. Clear? Now, property tax is also generally wealth tax, not property tax. That is now abolished. There is no existence of wealth tax now. Okay. Previously, I think before I started CA coaching, there is a concept of wealth tax that is abolished. If in exam, if there is wealth tax is there also, that wealth tax is also example of direct tax. But that is not now applicable. That is removed from the applicability. Now no one is paying the wealth tax. Income tax is only that one example in our direct taxation class. Okay. Now can you tell me, coming to our forwarded chapters, we are learning only one tax. What is the tax, ma? Income tax. So GST, that means Midun Reddy sir will take the what, ma? GST and customs duty, because in indirect tax we have only two things. Understood? Now 7 mark question. Now after this discussion you need to write it down it on paper also. 7 mark question. If you are not believed, okay, whether this is a 7 mark question or not, I will show you the past examination question papers also. In every attempt or every MTP, there is a chance of getting this question. Differences between the direct taxation as well as indirect taxation. Understood? Yes. Point number 6. Point number 6, sorry. Difference between direct tax and indirect tax. They will give you this question for 7 mark. They will give you this question for 7 marks. How we are going to present this also matter. Give the heading, differences between the direct taxation as well as indirect taxation. We can write it down in a side by side. The first we can write for the direct taxation, and the next we can write it down here indirect taxation. Okay, ra? So differences means nothing but you can write it down side by side. There is no rule how to present, but if your presentation is best, automatically they will give marks. Any idea first difference what you will write, ra? First I will write it on the meaning, ra. Meaning I don't want to write it on extra. So meaning means nothing but already we written above. If any tax collected on income earned by the person, that is called as what, indirect tax or income tax. If any tax collected on supply of goods or services or import and export of goods, that is called as what, indirect tax. That means the simply you have to copy this point in the differentiations also. Second point, this I will write it down. What is that? Payment and burden. What is that? Payment and burden. B, payment and burden. Payment and burden in the hands of whom? Same person. Coming to the next here, what is that point? Payment and burden in the hands of different persons. Understood, ra? C. Example we can write, Anna. Example we can write. Please tell me one difference example. Income tax. Here GST, customs duty. D point. Listen, ra. These three we copied from the above discussion. We didn't learn any new thing here. We copied everything from the last discussions only. Now, okay, I will tell you 3 person names, ra. Then you have to decide. Okay. First person, you only. You are paying any tax, ra? No, because you don't have any income. Okay. Second, we can take the 20 lakh salary earning person is there. He is paying some amount of tax. Third example, we can take the Ambani brothers. They are paying less amount of tax or more amount of tax? More. Why this differentiation? You are not paying any tax. If any person earning example 20 lakh salary, he paying some minimum tax. But some other persons are paying the huge amount of tax. That means in direct taxation, one point is there, this is a progressive nature tax. If your income increases, your tax also will increase. If you don't have income, no need to pay the tax. And one more simple point I will tell you, in direct taxation, there is a clear differentiation between the rich and poor. From poor person, I don't want to collect any tax because they don't have any income. Medium persons will pay the medium amount of tax. The rich peoples will pay the huge amount of tax. This is called as an progressive nature. What is it? Progressive nature. Now, progressive nature. This is in progressive in nature. So, what is that explanation? If income increases, automatically the tax also will increase. Here, there is a clear differentiation between, there is a differentiation between, there is a clear difference between who and whom? Rich and poor. There is a clear differentiation between the rich and poor. Okay. Coming to this indirect tax discussion. Coming to this indirect tax related discussion. It is regressive in nature. What is that, ma? Regressive in nature. Regressive in nature. Now I will take the example. Or you are going to one shop and you want to purchase the Lux Sopra. They will sell that product for you for how much amount? 52. Even beggar goes to the shop also, he has to pay 52. Correct? Rich person goes to the shop also, he has to pay 52. That means how much amount of tax? Tax is same in the hands of all the person. Here there is no differentiation between rich and poor. Here there is no difference between, there is no difference between, there is no difference between rich and poor. Understood? What do you mean by the regressive nature and what do you mean by the progressive nature? Direct tax, progressive nature. Indirect tax, regressive nature. Where there is a difference between rich and poor, direct taxation, there is a difference between rich and poor. In indirect taxation, everyone is same for collecting the tax. Okay, Naura. E point. Okay, in further chapters I will tell you, there is an, okay, example I will tell you. First of all, the person, that means an individual, age is below 60 years, up to 2,50,000, he is no need to pay any tax. If you have an only 2,50,000 in his hands, no need to pay any tax. That is an basically exempt. Up to that income, no need to pay any tax. Like that, senior citizen, that means senior citizen means above 60 years of age. Below 60, okay. 60 or above called as what? Senior citizen. For him, basic exemption limit will be 3 lakh. How much? 3 lakh. Up to 3 lakh, no need to pay the tax. Very senior citizens, super senior citizens will be there. Their age is above or equal to 80. For them, basically exemption limit will be 5 lakh. In which tax? Direct tax. In direct taxation, we are considering the age factor also for collecting the tax. If you have an General person, 2,50,000 basic exemption. If you are a senior citizen, 3 lakh will be exempt. If you are a super senior citizen, 5 lakh will be exempt. So that's why age factor can be considered or cannot be considered in direct taxation. Age factor we are considering here. Age factor considered. Now, point now you can tell me easily. Array 13 years baby, sorry 13 months baby or 13 years kid also, senior citizen also, old age fellow also wants to purchase the soap, means they have to pay the same amount of tax. So that's why age factor we are considering or not consider? Not consider. Age factor not considered. Clear? Dharma? Yes, these are the factors are enough. You will get, if you written these things in a detailed manner. Meaning you have to write it down. Meaning where you can copy. From where you can copy the meaning from above point. Dana. Now. Here I will tell you just index. What are the topics you are going to learn in future? But you don't know anything about these topics as of now. You know only taxation introduction. We are going to learn Income Tax Act 1961. So, but now I will tell you about the index. So, these are all the chapters we have to learn in future. Any idea? If you have any idea already, okay. First chapter, basic concepts. What is that? Basic concepts. If you know basic concepts, then only you will understood the further chapters. We'll discuss everything detailedly in basic concepts. Now, second one, overallly, now I am discussing everything. One person always staying in India, can I call that person as a resident? One person always staying in outside India, can I call as non-resident? Okay. But how to classify one person into resident, non-resident? If he is a resident, we can collect more taxes from him. If he is a non-resident, we can collect only the minimum taxes from him. So that's why in direct taxation, the first step is determination of residential status. Just in this half an hour, what I am going to talk, that is an introduction of overall paper. If you understood, okay, otherwise just copy this index. So that's enough. No need to go for behind the concepts. Now, what is that second point? We require to follow the residential status concept. Third one. My residential status also, I will discuss part 1 only first. 2 parts I will segregate. Whatever that your intermediate syllabus is there, residential status chapter, I will segregate into 2 parts. The first I will tell you only part 1. Okay, next. Okay. Just we can take any example. Okay, I am only example now. How many types of incomes I can earn? Example. Okay, one is an salary income. One is an what salary. If I am doing a job anywhere, I will get salary income. Classify that as an first. I have a residential house properties. Okay, in my hometown as well as in Hyderabad. Example, I don't have anything. Okay, just example. If I haven't any surplus house properties, I can give it as an let out to others. I can earn the rental income. That means house properties related income also I can earn. That is a second source. Generally, your father and mother also, if they haven't any other house properties, they can give it as a rental purpose only. They can earn the rental income. That is a second. The first one, income from salary. Second one, income from house properties. Done. Now I am doing the one business here, that is nothing but this institute. Okay, this institute. This is a business. If I am getting that any income from the business, that is an another source. I haven't CA qualification and I am doing the CA profession, that is a practice also. Income from profession, that is income from business or income from profession. Both the things are one and the same. How many incomes we discussed? The first one, salary. Second one, income from house property. Third one, income from business or profession. Okay. My father and the grandfather given the properties. I sold that properties. I am earning the profit. Okay, my grandfather and father purchased it for 1 lakh. Now I am selling for 1 crore. I am getting gain or not? Yes. That is called as capital gain. Okay, one more simple example I will say. In June month, I purchased some amount of gold. I invested my capital in where? Gold. Today, gold price is high. Now, I am selling that gold for profit. That gain is called as what? Capital gain. Because your capital invested in one asset, that is gained now. That is called as what? Capital gain. So, how many types of incomes as of now you can classify? First, salary. Second one, house property. Third one, business or profession related income. Fourth one, capital gain. These four are very important. Other than these four, if any income you got, that is last income from other sources. Other than these four incomes, if you got any income, that is classified unto income from other source. Again, I'm asking, sir, I have an lottery income. So now that is taxed under which head? Income from salary. Salaries amount. Sorry, income from other sources. Salary amount. Income from salary. Rental income. House property. Business related and profession related. PCBP. That is only income from business or profession. I sold one asset. I got gain. Capital gain. I am receiving dividend. Income from other sources. I am receiving interest amount. Income from other sources. Sir, example, your father. Please ask with your father how many types of incomes he can receive. Okay, if he is a farmer, maybe agricultural income. Okay, if he is doing some business also, or if he is in employment, maybe he can receive the multiple amounts. All the multiple sources related incomes we have to classify into how many heads? 5 heads. Please repeat along with me, what are the 5 heads? Income from salary, income from house property, PCBP, that is nothing but business, profession related gain or profits, capital gain, income from other sources. Okay. Now, just we classified the incomes into 5 heads. Now, every month I am receiving salary income. Some exemptions also there, some deductions also there. Finally, how to compute the income under salaries head, we have to talk. That is only our third chapter. Income from salaries. Fourth one, next, if you are receiving the house property income, how to calculate the income from house property? Anna, okay. Next, fifth one, that is an income from PCBP. That is an B means the business, P means what? Profession. Income from PCBP. Sixth one, capital gains. What is that? Capital gains. Seventh one, income from other sources. Income from other sources. Look at the screen. Look at the screen, all of you. Yes, sir. If you learn these 5 heads, then our entire 80% of syllabus will be over. మా ఏంటి రాయట్లా రాయట్లేదంటమ్మా నువ్వే లాస్ట్ ఓకే heads of income ra, these are very important chapters, but in order we have to remember. First salary, second house property, next PCBP and capital gain and income from other sources. And now I haven't winnings, crossword puzzles, dividend, interest, horse races, etc. These are all are under what ma? Other sources. Agricultural income is exempt or taxable? Exempt means why we can consider here. Okay. Commission, salaries related commission or any other person given income from other sources. Example, your employer given the commission, salaries. Third parties are given the commission, other sources. You can ask examples. Now, if you have any doubt, imagine your father or relative circle, they haven't certain incomes. You can ask, I will tell you under which head of income that will be classified. Please try to ask, no problem. Then you will get more clarity. Understood up to now? Okay, right? Just now we talked about the basic concepts under residential status 1 and 5 heads of income. Okay, right? My father doing the business example. Okay, he is doing 2 businesses. One is business 1 and another one business 2. But in business 1, 10,000 loss is there. Okay, and in business 2, 20,000 profit. Ultimately, what is that business income means? Can you tell me 10,000? One business loss, another business profit. But if I am asking what is your income? Yes, PCBP income means nothing but after set off you can say what 10,000. Okay. Sir, salaries income is there. That is nothing but 5 lakh. House property loss is there 2 lakh. Ultimately, what is your income? 3 lakh. That means we are doing what set off. Okay. How to do this set off? There is a certain rules for doing set off. You can't set off whatever you want. They are given in law under, first of all, within the head, what are the things you can set off? Between the heads, what are the things you can set off? Still after set off, if you have a loss, for next years you can carry forward. That is only our 9th chapter, set off and carry forward of losses. Yes, sir. What is that, set off and carry forward of the losses. Okay. Sir, first just understood what is that meaning or what is the purpose of this chapter. Generally, we can get loss also. Some gold we purchase it for a high price and we can sold it for less price also. That means we are getting loss also. What is that impact if I am getting the loss? Can I set off against other incomes? Yes, you can set off. Please follow this chapter rules. Now, minors also having some incomes, right? Minors also having some incomes, right? Yes, under 19 players are there. That is an income. And many child artists also there. They have also certain income. But they don't have any PAN number. How they will pay the tax? Who will pay the tax on behalf of the minor? Parent. Minor's income clubbed means what? Added into the parent hands. Okay. Whose hands? Parent. One example I took. The minor's income is going to club in the hands of parent. The parent is required to pay the tax. Okay, one more. I have an different types of incomes, ra. But what is a basic exemption in my hands? Less than 60 years of age. That's why 2,50,000 only exempt. So that's why I will make a one plan, ra. My wife is a homemaker. She don't have any income. Okay. I will shift some incomes to the my wife and I will segregate my income into the two parts. One is in my part, another one in my wife part. So that's why we can claim the what ma basic exemption. Example, from all the sources, I have an 4 lakh. I have an how much ma? 4 lakh. Definitely I require to pay the tax. But now I'm shifting the, I will keep 2 lakh only in my hand. The remaining 2 lakh I will shift to whom? My wife. Here my basic exemption limit is 2,50,000 below. Our basic exemption limit also 2,50,000 below. 2,50,000 below only. Now she have also income. So that's why now both the taxes will be 0. But this is an correct or incorrect? Incorrect. How you can shift your income to the other person hands? If you shift it like this, yes, that is also clubbed in the hands of you only. If you shifted wrongfully like this, that income also clubbed in the hands of Assessee only. That is only our chapter clubbing provisions. After reading this, you can understood everything. Other person income clubbed in the hands of Assessee. Other person total income is now going to club in the hands of whom? Assessee. Understood? How many chapters just we discussed? Wait a minute. Next one, 10th one. Any idea about 10th one? Okay. After adding all these incomes, okay, because of clubbing provisions, my income will increase. My minor income also will club in my hands. My income will increase. My wife income also clubbing in my hands. Because of the clubbing provisions, our income will increase. Because of set off provisions, our income will reduce. Losses we can set off. That means our income will reduce. Finally, you will get the total of this. From this you can reduce the chapter 6A deductions. Okay, chapter 6A deductions. Chapter 6A deductions. What are the chapter 6A deductions we have, sir? These are all the things we'll discuss separately. Okay. What do you mean by the deduction, sir? These are all the things I will tell you separately. Now, after that, we have to discuss about the advance tax and interest. Just remember advance tax. Okay. Next, for 13th one, TDS and TCS, tax deducted at source, tax collected at source. Tax deducted at source, tax collected at source. 14th one, return of income. What is that, ma? Return of income. Return of income. Sir, we are required to pay the tax. Okay, at the time of payment of tax, we have to file our returns. How to file these returns and all the things we'll discuss in the 14th chapter. Return of income. Next one, ma. Next one. Yes, we'll discuss the 15th one, agricultural income. What is that? Agricultural income. You know already agricultural income is exempt or taxable, ma? Exempt. But we'll discuss what do you mean by the agricultural income and all the cases we can cover in the agricultural income concept. Next, yes, ma? Exempted incomes. What is that? Exempted incomes. Exempted incomes means clearly they given some amount of incomes are exempt. Example, agricultural income. Next, many incomes clearly they given under this chapter. These incomes are always exempt. If you have this income, no need to pay any tax. That all we can cover here. Next one, ma, PAN, yes, PAN and self-assessment. Array, now I will ask a question, ra. Your father earns some income, right? Who will file the return of income? Ma? Your father only. Examples are, these are all incomes I earned during this year, sir. Okay, clubbing provisions after set off, after claiming the deduction, I have this much of income. I will pay this amount of tax. These are all the things required to be filed by whom? Ma? Your father only. That is only called as self-assessment. No one will file your return, ra. No one will file your return of income. You have to compute your income on your own assessment. That is only called as self-assessment. My return, I will file. Your return also you have to file, because your income and your tax computation you have to done by yourself. If you don't have this knowledge, then you can take the help of professionals. Commerce students have an idea, then they will file the return. Science student doesn't have any idea about this return of income, they will take the services of CA or CMA. Clear? Now, 18th one. 18th one, total income. Total income problems. Total income problems. Nothing but what, ma? They will give you every detail. You have to compute every head of income total after adding clubbing, after minus, reducing the what, ma? Set off, after removing chapter 6A deduction. You have to compute total income. On that we have to calculate tax also. These are only the chapters we have. And coming to the 19th one, we'll discuss the residential status. Already we left one thing. Part already over, part 1. Now part 2. Part 1 is already over. Now we can discuss the part 2. Sir, is there any expected weightage, sir? Okay. If you want to know the weightage, I will tell you, this is nothing but the, okay, average I will give you 2 marks to 4 mark from this. Pakka 7 mark. Residential status, Pakka 7 mark. Yes, this is also 7 marks. House property also 7 mark. PCBP also 7 mark. Capital gain also 7 mark. This is also 7 mark. Array, can you count it down the total, ra? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 42 marks from this only. Any one of these 2 chapters, they can give it for 7 mark. Anyone. I can't say, sir, from which chapter, sir. The mostly set off. Mostly set off chapter. But if you are a lucky person, they will ask the clubbing also. Mostly set off. Next. Ma, these are all, okay. These are all chapters. Yes, sir. MCQ purposes are for total income chapter we have. Yes, sir. total income chapter. That is a big question we have. That purposes we have to know. Okay. Next, agricultural income, if they given, that is a 0 to 7 mark. If they given, yes, 0. If they are not given, 0 marks. Otherwise, if they given, 7 mark pakka. Total income, another 7 mark. Now I will highlight. I will highlight. There is an MCQ purposes only. This is also what ma MCQ purposes only. Please check it out. Screen all of you. Please check it out this screen. Total income, 1 question, 7 mark. Yes, 7 mark. 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many questions we have in our direct tax? Yes, that is nothing but what ma? 4 questions. 7 marks means nothing but what ma? 8 questions. 4 questions for 14 marks. Nothing but in direct taxation, how many 7 mark questions we can get? 8. I will show that 8 questions also. The 1 question, residential status. Another question, salaries. Another question, house property. Another question, PCBP. Another question, capital gain. Another question, other sources. These 2 combinedly 1 question. Another is this one. 1, yes, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matched. That means which chapters we have to give the preference. First basic concepts anyhow we are going to learn. Because without that we can't understood further chapters. Perfectly residential status I will take 1 week. In that 1 week definitely you will get how many marks? 7 marks. Further I will start house property. In that you will get how many marks? 7 marks. That means if any chapter started, you have to count down the marks also. Okay. After completion of these chapters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 42 marks worth you know already. Apart from MCQs. In direct tax are only combinedly. In direct tax alone, you know 42 marks syllabus as of now. Yes, next question, definitely they will give the total income question. Remaining, MCQ purpose. But in our paper, MCQs are nothing but what limited. 9 MCQs for IDT, 6 MCQs only for DT. Understood? So now, tomorrow whatever we started, one more thing. In one attempt, they done the magic. Mostly residential status question. But they are given the residential status as 0. Basic concepts they given for 7 marks. Not old attempt, the recent attempt only. The residential status they made it as a 0 and they asked a question from basic concepts. That's why basic concepts also very important. Tomorrow we can start with the basic concepts. This is only the flow. Sir, can I leave these questions, sir? No. MCQs pakka they will ask from these only. These are very small chapters. And one more. Sir, total income if you want to solve, you have to understood, and if you have an idea about this, then only you can do the total income sum. But sir, can I ignore this residential status too? Yes, you can ignore, no problem. Exempted incomes I want to ignore, sir. This also I want to ignore. Yes, you can ignore. Agricultural income, no. Why? In some cases, they are removing this question and they are giving question from what ma? Agricultural income 7 mark. Agricultural income topic take only 1 hour time for class purposes, half an hour for revision purpose. Why we need to learn this chapter? Only 3 pages in our study material. That's why. Understood? Now you can understood the weightage also. What are the chapters we have also? How many heads of incomes we have? 5. 5. First one, salaries, house property, PCBP, capital gain, other sources. Yes, tomorrow we can start with the basic concepts chapter. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. In last 2 classes, we discussed about the paper pattern and introduction to tax. Now we can start directly with the first chapter. May I know what is the name of the first chapter? Basic concepts. What is that weightage? Either they can give for 7 mark question also instead of residential status. Okay, instead of residential status, directly they can ask what basic concepts. Otherwise, 2 to 4 marks means MCQs. Okay. And this chapter is very important for solving the questions for that other chapters. Okay. Give the heading in your notes, basic concepts. First, in this, I want to write it on the first point. You know already types of taxes. Just I want to write it down. Types of taxes. Can you tell me how many types of taxes we have? Two types. One is an direct tax, another one indirect tax. Please write along with me, because you know everything already. So that's why please write it down along with me. Okay. Can you tell me the meaning of direct tax? If tax collected on income earned by a person, if any tax collected on income earned by a person, okay, simply this is called as what? Income tax. But now I want to know this direct tax is collected by, direct tax means simply income tax is collected by whom? Central government or state government? Collected by central government, because Income Tax Act 1961 is framed by the central government in parliament, and that is covered in article number 246, 7th schedule, list 1. List 1 means who framed that law? Central government. Next, one example for the direct tax, may I know? Income tax. Wealth tax is there previously, that is abolished now. Next, indirect tax. Can you tell me, we have two types of indirect taxes now? Please, first one is nothing but your favorite one. What is that? GST. Second one is nothing but customs duty. I think in my intermediate level, CA inter level, the many indirect tax laws are there. VAT, service tax, central excise, etc. Now all the things are removed and by way of replacing the GST. Now only the two types of indirect taxes are there in India. First one is GST, second one customs duty. Now you have to tell me, GST is collected on what, GST is collected on supply of only goods or services. Supply of goods or services. Now I want to know this GST is collected by the whom? Okay, the central government or state government? Both. There is an CGST, central GST. There is an SGST and ITGST also there. So that's why it is collected by both. It is collected by CG and ESG. Next, customs duty. Please let me know. Yes, it is collected on what, collected on import and export. Generally, import and export. Which one is better for that Indian government? Export is better or import? Export is better. So that's why at the time of doing that export, zero rate of import duty, but at the time of import we are levying the customs duty. Technically on two ways we have to collect the customs duty, but here we are making it as a zero tax. Now this is collected by whom? Any idea? MCQ purposes. Customs duty collected by whom? Central government. Collected by central government. Understood up to now? This is the first point we discussed now. Shall we start the second point in this? Yes. 4 marks theory question important. For today's session, if you learn this question also, I am very much happy. Okay. Second, sources or components of Sources are components of income tax law. Sources are components of income tax law. Sources are components of income tax law. Or if I am asking anything about the income tax law, you don't know anything. Okay. Now, if you want to know about the income tax law, what are the sources you have to follow? Or what are the components you have to read for getting the knowledge about the income tax law? Many students are saying, sir, we have an Income Tax Act 1961, sir. Yes, if I learn the every provision in Income Tax Act 1961, I know everything about law. That is wrong assumption, ra. Income Tax Act 1961 alone is not enough to get the knowledge about the complete structure of income tax. That means you have to learn this income tax law from the various resources or various components. Now I will tell you what are the components we are going to learn in this inter level as well as in final level for getting the knowledge about what are income tax law. Shall we start that? What are the components? Sir, sources or components are nothing but how many? 5. If you learn these 5 sources or 5 components, you will get a knowledge about the income tax law. Understood? Now, what are the components? Any idea? One component already I written. What is it? Act only. Sections. That means section 1 to how many sections we have? Guess. 1 to how many we have? మీరు మాట్లాడకపోతే నేను చెప్పను రా. 200. Super. Guess ra. I'm not asking the correct answer. 120. Akka. More than 200. Akka. More than 200. 298. Section 1 to section 298 we have. Now, first source is nothing but we have to learn everything from the act. Income Tax Act 1961. Later, okay, later means next. Are we are not an experts in the reading of law or understanding the law. Definitely in the 1961 and 62 they implemented this law. The many doubts are there for the assessees. So that's why in the next year, very next year, they given the rules. Income tax rules. Income tax rules 1962. Income tax rules, what is that? 1962. Now, after these two things, we have to learn the. Okay, I will ask a doubt, then after I will give this name. In 1961, this law framed. After that, they given rules. I think on that time, with the 10 paisa, we can purchase the even anything also in 1961. Paisa. But now, the rupee only now trading in the market. So how we can follow the same law now also? Now maybe they are given the tax rates. But earlier the tax rates are different. So that means these are all the things are financial related terms. How we can follow whatever the law framed earlier, that too in 1960s, now how we can implement that? On that time I think with the 100 rupees you can purchase the land also. Now with the 100 rupees we can't purchase even food also. So then how we can follow the same thing now also? Akka? Ni bonda. Remember, every year we are making the changes to this Income Tax Act 1961 by using Finance Act. Every year the February month budget will be placed in the Parliament, that is both the houses of Parliament, by using that budget, we can get the Finance Act every year. For this Income Tax Act 1961, we can get the changes. That is only we have to learn. That is what ma Annual Finance Act. What is it? Annual Finance Act. Understood? Now, after the Annual Finance Act, sir, without learning these updated rates and updated points, how we can know about income tax? If you learn only this thing, this is an irrelevant. You have to learn what updated things also, whatever done in the Finance Act. Next. Somehow I learned these three things, sir. But every day, department means nothing but the income tax department. We are taxpayers. The department also there, that is income tax department. They will give some notifications. They will give some circulars. Whatever that is important to the taxpayers. What they will give, ma? Circulars, as well as what, ma? Notifications. Circulars and notification. They want to give some information to us, they can give the circulars or they can give the notification. Every day they will release some circulars and notification. Definitely you have to read all those things for getting the knowledge about the income tax law. Not for exam purposes, practicality, definitely you have to follow this also. Last one. Do you know something about agricultural income, right? So agricultural income means nothing but by way of cultivating something we can get some yield. If you sold that yield on the market, you will get income. That is agricultural income. Pakka. That means my father is cultivating paddy, mirchi, cotton, etc. Definitely my father getting what? Agricultural income. Because he is cultivating all the things on the land. By using the land, he gets some yielding. He is selling some yield on the market. He getting agricultural income. Now I have a doubt. Nurseries are there in our cities and villages also. What are that? Nurseries. They are simply they are growing some plants in vessels and plastic covers, etc. They are selling to that public and they are getting money. That is agricultural income or non-agricultural income? Non-agricultural income. Definitely we got doubt or not in this case. Yes, definitely growing activity is there. The plant only. By using the selling of that plants, nothing but that may be flower related plants or seeding related plants or anything also. They are getting income. That is agricultural income or not. Department will say that is non-agricultural income, please pay the tax. Our assessee or taxpayer will say what? This is an agricultural income. Is there any dispute between them? Yes. If disputes are there, they will go for the court. The court will give the judgments. The judgments also we have to learn. That is only case laws, or we can call it as an judgments. If any dispute between the department and the taxpayer is there, yes, definitely that all the things can be resolved by the High Court and Supreme Court. The judgments also, if you learn, then only you will know complete knowledge about the income tax law. Simple point. I know this case law. In Chennai, that nursery income is treated as agricultural income or not, decided by the Madras High Court on that time. Now I know that case law also. So now I am in practice. Anyone is set up in the nursery or anyone wants to set up the nursery, definitely if they approach to me, definitely I can say my decision regarding this, yes sir, you are not required to pay any tax because the nursery income is an agricultural income. Simply we can say. Without knowing this case law, can you give the decision to them? So many students are thinking Income Tax Act 1961 is enough to get the knowledge. That is incorrect. What are the sources or components we have to follow? What are the sources or components we have to follow? Income Tax Act 1961, Income Tax Rules 1962, Annual Finance Act, circulars, notifications as well as case laws. Now we'll discuss one by one. The first component, what we are going to learn? Income Tax Act 1961. Give the side heading Income Tax Act 1961. Dana. Income Tax Act 1961. Okay. Sir, in that name of the act they given the year what? 1961. Now very important MCQ. It came into force on, that means it is up, came into applicability from. That means what ma? It came into force. It came into force on 1/4/1962. An act framed in 61, but it is applicable from this date. It came into force on this date. MCQ important. Next, it extends. That means it extends whole of India. It extends what ma? Whole of India. Next, it contains, now you know everything. It contains how many sections ma? 298 sections. That 298 sections are classified into 14 schedules. That means these sections are classified into schedules. How many schedules ma? 14 schedules. So second component we have to start. Now what is the second component? Income tax rules 1962. Income tax rules what are? 1962. Shall we? Now here the two parties are there. One is a taxpayer. Another one is nothing but tax department. That means income tax department. In this income tax department, the various levels of officers are there. Who are directing all these officers? CBDT. Full form? Central Board of Direct Taxes. Central Board of Direct Taxes. Nothing but this is the first and foremost authority in our income tax law. That means they are only monitoring all their subordinate staffs. Who are ordinates? CBDT is an ordinate and they are going to give the directions to all their subordinates. Now these rules also required to be given by the CBDT. Yes, now I can write it down CBDT. Yes, within the bracket we can write it on full form. What is that ma? Central Board of Direct Taxes. Central Board of Direct Taxes will issue rules in order to proper administration of act. Whatever that act already framed, if we want to implement act properly, definitely we need help of what ma? Rules. That rules will given by the whom? CBDT. Can I say one example? Definitely it is advanced one. Try to listen. In Income Tax Act 1961, one provision is there. In cash, you can't make the payment more than 10,000. So if you want to make any payment to the others in cash, you cannot make more than how much? 10,000. Okay, now I am doing business of purchasing the food grains from the farmers and I am processing into food products. Here definitely I required to make some payment to the farmers because I am purchasing the food grains from them. Farmers will accept the net banking GPay or phone pay? No. Definitely in this case I required to make the payment in the form of what? Cash. But if I am following the provision or section in income tax, it is difficult to run that provision. So that's why in such cases the department will give rules. In exceptional cases you can make more than 10,000 also in cash. Provision saying more than 10,000 you can't pay, but they can give the exceptions in rules. Yes, in some exceptional cases, while you are making the payment to fishermen, while you are making the payment to the farmers, while you are making the payments to the purchase of forest producers, etc., you can make the payment in the form of cash. More than 10,000 also. That means without these rules, can I implement the act properly? No. If you want to implement every provision in the act properly, definitely we need a support of what? Rules. That rules always will give by the CBDT. This is an important MCQ. Who can release the rules always? CBDT. Full form, Central Board of Direct Taxes. That's enough. Third one. Can you tell me third one? Annual Finance Act. Listen. Now, every year, Union Finance Minister, not state, Union Finance Minister. Who is a Union Finance Minister? Akka Nirmala Sitharaman. Okay. Yes, Union Finance Minister every year, I will tell you the date also. What is the date? February 1st, Pakka. Every year introduce finance bill, not act. What are the changes we are going to made in the Income Tax Act 1961? Whatever the provisions we have to change in the Income Tax Act 1961, all the things they will draft in a bill or draft in a papers, that is called as what? Finance bill. So they are going to introduce in both the houses of what? Parliament. Both the houses of Parliament. Next, both the houses of Parliament. After getting assent, that means definitely both the houses of Parliament assent they got, then that will be sent it to whom? After getting assent means consent from both the houses of Parliament. Both the houses of Parliament and President of India. What is that? President of India. Then finance bill converted into Finance Act. After getting the consent, now that bill is converted into what? Act. Now please remember, for our examinations, Finance Act 2000, Finance Act 2025, this is introduced to the Parliament as well as both the houses of Parliament in the February 25, not in February 26. So now we are in February month, right? February 1st already happened. In that February 1st, 2026 also, She introduced the bill, and that bill already passed in both the houses of parliament, and next that already converted into Finance Act. But that is not applicable for our exam. That is applicable for the June 27, December 27 exams. Whatever that, yes ma, whatever that thing introduced in the February 25, that is Finance Act 25, yes, for our which exams? June as well as December 2026 examination. This is only you have to follow. Sir, already in that 1 week back, they introduced one bill, sir. Already I followed that. That is for the June 27, December 27 exams. Yes, this Finance Act 2025 will give the amendments to the both the tax laws, not only direct tax, that is given some amendments for the indirect taxes also. Yes sir, whenever the Finance Act is introduced, automatically it will give the amendments to the both the tax laws, whether that is direct tax also and indirect taxes also. Now remember, sir, what do you mean by the amendments, sir? I think many times I hear this word of amendment, sir. I want to know meaning of amendment. Amendment means something changed. So I will tell you how the amendments will be framed. Sir, whatever that existing provision is there in our act, what is that? Existing provision is there. They can remove the existing provision from the applicability. From act, they will remove one provision. Sir, if any existing provision is there, they can modify the existing provision. Previously tax rate 10%, now they can change it as an 20 also. That is what they will do, modify the existing. Next, the last one, the new provisions they can introduce. There is no such section previously, now they can introduce that also. So this is only the simplified meaning of amendments. This is only the simplified meaning of amendments. So anything can be happened in the Finance Act Finance Act. Remember, what is that examination related Finance Act for our June as well as December? Finance Act 2025 is applicable. Whatever they are given in that last 1 week, that is February 2026, whatever they given, that is for that upcoming examinations in 2027 year, that is June 27, December 27. Clear? Now, understood up to now? So that means every year this will be happen. What is that act? Annual Finance Act. Why we are calling it as an annual? Every year we are framing one act for giving the amendments for the both the tax laws. That's why it is called as an annual Finance Act. Understood? Now, so first 3 done. Any doubts up to now? Who will introduce the bill in the both the houses of parliament? Union Finance Minister. After getting assent from the both the houses of parliament as well as President of India, that bill can be converted into act. Now, circulars, notification. Anna, shall we start about the circulars and notifications? Yes. What is that? Point number D. Circulars and notifications. So side by side I will write the both the things. Side by side I will write the both the things. The first one is nothing but circulars. Second one is nothing but what? Notifications. Okay. First, they given one provision that is simply, I will say, they introduced one new provision in the act. But whether that provision is applicable for me or not, I haven't many doubts. Many doubts. In act they given provision, but whether that provision is applicable for me or not, how to apply that provision also, I don't know. Definitely who having certain doubts about the new provisions, Assessee is having certain doubts. Assessee means nothing but whom? Taxpayers. In order to clarify the doubts, they will give what? Circulars. Simply they will give you examples. And FAQs, simply the frequently asked questions. If you have a doubt, you will ask a question. Mostly which question we asked, that they will frame in a document, they will release, that is only called as what? Circulars. Can you tell me why the department will give the circulars? In order to clarify the doubts. Now my question is, who will release these circulars? Who will release these circulars? Rules released by whom? Rules released by whom? CBDT. Same authority will issue the circulars also. Reason, department only required to issue. Who having the doubts are taxpayer. Who needs to give the clarifications? Department. Who is in first and foremost authority in the department side? CBDT. They will only issue the circulars. Please write it down. CBDT. CBDT will issue circulars to clarify doubts over provisions. Who given these circulars? CBDT. So that's why if any circular is given, regarding the circulars, every department official, that means nothing but whoever officers in the department, they are required to bind it over. Must and should, they are required to follow all these circulars, because their superior given the circular. So that's why all the officers in that income tax department also required to follow this. Next one, who is that? Assessee. My Assessee means simply whom? Taxpayer. I will give you the definition also in later classes, but remember Assessee means taxpayer. Then that provision is related to business. That provision introduced, whatever the new provision is given for whom? Business assessees, nothing but who are doing the business. Who will get the doubts? Who are doing the business only. Now the circular given by the CBDT is useful for the business related taxpayers only, but now I am an salaried based assessee. That means I have an only income from what? Salary. Do I need to follow that? If it is beneficial for you, you can follow. That is not related to me, how can I follow that? So that's why, remember, if advantage to Assessee, if the doubts related doubts or the frequently asked questions are advantageous for you, you can read it out and you can follow. If that is not at all related to me, I will ignore it. That's why, if advantageous to, if that is an advantageous to Assessee, then only he will follow. Other assessees will ignore this circular. Example, my father is farmer, he is not at all paying any tax. Do he is required to follow the circular? No. I am business assessee, definitely the circular also given related to business assessees, definitely I need to follow. But you are a salaried employee, no need to follow this circular. If that is an advantageous to you, then only you can follow it, otherwise you can ignore. But now please let me know who will issue these circulars. So circulars means you have to remember one more word. What are doubts? Doubts clarification purposes, they will give the circulars. Now if I am asking about the rules, You have to remember the rules given by whom? CBDT for proper administration. Sir, without this one rule, we can't make this proper payment to the farmers, because farmers are always expecting the cash. But act is given the restriction of how much cash you can pay, 10,000. But in the rules they are given in exceptional cases you can pay the more than 10,000 also in cash. So that's why can I implement the act properly? Yes. If there is a rules, definitely the act will become stronger. If there is a rules, act will become what stronger. Understood? Now I will call the notification. Or in our mobile, there is a notification. Means what someone is sending one information to you, they are notifying the information to you. Here also the same way, the department will send the notifications to all the taxpayers if any sensation thing is happened. We have to pay the tax before this data, but due to certain circumstances they are extending our date. Now how I will know about that extension of the data? By way of notifications. Example, our ICMI also or any authorities also, they will issue the notifications. What do you mean by the notification? They want to send some information to you in the form of notifications. Now I want to know who will issue these notifications. Now I will ask, tell me, department only will issue. In department who will issue? The first and foremost authority in the department is CBDT. Remember, here two types of notifications are there. Notifications related to act. Notifications related to rules. Act framed by whom? Central government. So that's why that notifications also central government will issue. Central government will issue. Rules given by whom? CBDT. That rules related notifications also will issued by whom? CBDT. So act framed by central government. That's why notifications related to act also will issue by the central government. So notifications related to rules. Rules framed by whom? CBDT. That's why CBDT only will issue the things. Understood? Understood? How many components we discussed as of now? 4 components. The last component is what? Case law. Last component is what? Case laws. So can I give the heading for that case law? Key point. Point number E, that is what? Case law. So case laws, or we can call it as an judgments also. This is an practically happened case law. We can discuss. In Tamil Nadu, in Chennai, there is a nursery on that time. Yes, Soundarya Nursery. What is that, Soundarya Nursery. Where it is located? Chennai. In nursery which activities we can conduct also. So there is an income tax department also. There are taxpayers, and the next income tax department is there. They are getting some income from the agriculture. sorry, income from Verma nursery. Department is considering it as an, yes ma, whatever the income they have, the department is considering that income as an non-agricultural income. Why? Simply they are not cultivating the anything on land. In nurseries, if you observe, everything is yes growing on the where on vessels as well as the plastic covers or in trays something. They are not growing any plant on the land. But now they are saying, no sir, it is agricultural income. We are doing the plant related thing. Agricultural income, they are saying. So definitely, whatever the view they have, yes, differential views are the same views, differential views. Now there is a dispute between the both the parties, so this will be leads to the yes high court level. Yes, now on that time Madras High Court, yes, given the judgment. Now can you guess who got the favorable judgment, ma? Department only, sorry, Assessee only got the favorable judgment. What is a favorable judgment? Must simply, finally, they are saying this agricultural, this is an agricultural income only. Why they are given the agricultural income point? Simply, growing is there. What is that, ma? Growing of plants are there that enough to called it as an what, ma? Agricultural activity. So simply whether it is connected to the land or not connected to the land is unimportant. The growing activity itself we can treat it as what, ma? Agriculture. Now based on this case law, nowhere in India nurseries are paying the tax. Nowhere in India, no one is paying the tax if they have an agricultural income also based on this case law. If High Court or Supreme Court is given the any judgment, the judgment is called as a landmark judgment, that all the things we have to read, and for further cases no need to appear before High Court again. We can follow the whatever the judgment given in the landmark case law. Now here what is that point, ma? Basic operations. Ma, what do you mean by the basic operations, ma? Seeding, watering, slapping, etc. That means nothing but in a farmer side you can observe. So first of all we have to insert the seeds in the land. Then growing activity, watering, giving the pesticides, everything we have to carry it out on the land. That operations only called as the basic operations. Now remember, whether the basic operations are carrying on land or not, yes sir, carrying on land or not, it is unimportant. If carrying on land, okay. If not carried on that land also, that is agricultural income only, because growing activity is there. That whatever the plants or trees are growing, that enough to call it as an water agricultural income. Now, in our panchayati, yes, one sarpanch given the judgment. Do I need to follow that? No. District high courts given, district courts given. We don't want to follow that. Only which case laws we have to follow, judgments given by the High Court and Supreme Court. So now I can write it down. Study of case laws. What is that, ma? Study of case laws or judgments also important. Also important. So now if any person who wants to set up the nurseries, you can say simply, so you can set up nursery, that is agricultural income, no need to pay any tax. Without knowing this case law, can you say this? No. Second one, judgments. What is that, ma? Judgments given by which authorities we can follow, ma? High Court, Supreme Court. High Court, Supreme Court only considered as case law. Only considered as what, ma? Case law. Understood? So all the components we discussed as of now. The first one in Income Tax Act 1961, Income Tax Rules, Annual Finance Act, circulars, notifications, case laws. Understood? Done. Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 minute time. Yes, sir. I given a promise to explain everything by using Constitution of India. So I think we have to refer the Constitution of India also with respect to how many articles, sir? Two articles, right? Okay, right? In this, I'm going with the search option, right? I don't know where we have a search option. Okay. You can see clearly we have an article numbers in this side. So which article related to which content also. Now we have to move towards the what ma? Article number 265 first we can refer. Okay. 265 we can refer. 265 taxes are not to be imposed save by authority of what law. That means clearly they are saying if you want to collect the tax, definitely you need to get a support of what law. Next article we discussed what 246. 246. Subject matter of laws framed by whom? Parliament as well as state legislature. Now we can go to the article number 246. Okay, I don't know in which page we have also, but I will open it. Sorry. Seventeen. Yes, sir. What are the how many lists are there, ma? In seventh schedule to this article, seventh schedule to the article number 246 contains how many lists, ma? Three lists. That is first the list one. Yes, ma. The list one, list two, list three. They given everything. Now, if we are going in a detailed manner, they are not given the annexes. Our entry number also we can find out here. But that is not given in detailed drafting here. Simply we can refer the whatever the entry number we have also in that seventh schedule to the article number 246. So everything you can learn. Next, if you observe we discussed about the income. Yes, sir. We discussed everything about the sources or components, right? Income Tax Act 1961 rules. Next one, ma, circulars, notifications. Circulars as well as what, ma? Notifications. Now you can observe the whatever the latest updates they given in this income tax website. You can check it out. All the notifications also, all the circulars, whatever they given. Simply you can search latest circulars in separately. This is an income tax government.in. These are all the notifications. They are given the day wise notifications, and whatever the circulars they given, you can find out in that websites. These are also important if you are engaged in the practice, not student point of view. Whatever that purpose, study purpose is important, we can discuss that also in our classes. Understood? Now, as of now, we discussed the sources as well as what components related to income tax. Now we'll start the one by one. Our section 1 in our act, what is that? Try any idea? Short title. Short title. So entire act is representing as an Income Tax Act 1961. That is a short title. Extent. Can you tell me it is applicable whole of India and applicability from? Yes, can you tell me it is an applicable or commencement from the 1/4/1962? That is only the section 1 content. Section 2 is exclusively given definitions. In any act, section 2 is talking about the what definitions only. Section 3 I will discuss after some time. Now section 4 is heart of the entire act, that is nothing but charging section. Now they want to collect the tax. How they will collect the tax? At what rate they will collect tax? From whom they will collect the tax? Based on weight and height or based on income? Income. So that all the details they will give in the charging section. So how we are going to levy the income tax from the various persons? Yes, example, senior citizen is there. From the senior citizen, how much tax we can collect? Normal person is there, how much we can collect? Yes, if any person doing the business, how we can collect the tax? How we can collect the tax in case if he is a farmer? These are all the things we'll discuss in the charging section. In every taxation laws, charging section is very important. Here also we have to discuss what charging section, that is section 4. Now, section 3 is nothing but definition only, that is definition for the previous year. Definition for the what previous year. These are the only the 4 sections we are going to learn in this chapter. Section 2 we are not discussing anything. Whenever there is a need of learning the definition, we can go and we can learn. No need to read that entire section 2 in the starting of the learning of the act itself. In further chapters, I want to know the meaning of accountant. Now I can go to the section 2 and I will refer where they define the accountant. Understood? No need to learn anything from the section 2. But some definitions are important for exam point of view that we will discuss. Next, previous year definition also will discuss in section 3. The last will discuss what ma? Section 4. Now, this already over. This we don't want to learn. Remaining 2 things only pending in this chapter. But charging section is the voluminous. No, sir, 4 is okay, sir. Then what about 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9? That is residential status. Section 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is related to what ma? Residential status chapter. Next, continuation only all the sections you will get. Okay, what are the sections we are going to learn now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Already 1 over. 2 we don't want to learn. 3 previous year definition. 4 charging section. In the next class we can start about the charging section. Please be present in the class. The charging section is very important. In that only we will learn the everything about the income tax, how we are going to pay the income tax, how they are collecting the income tax. These are all the things we can learn in the charging section itself. Let's take a break. In the last session we started with the basic concepts chapter. Some of the concepts are already over. First we discussed about the types of taxes, 2 taxes, direct tax and indirect tax, and examples, and who can collect the direct taxes and indirect taxes also we discussed. Next we started with the sources and the components or components of income tax law. That means if you prepare these 5 resources, then only you will get a complete knowledge about the law. What are the 5 resources, sir? What are the 5 resources, Mav? The first one, Income Tax Act 1961. Income Tax Act 1961. Second one, Income Tax Rules 1962. Who will give the rules, sir? Who will give the rules, sir? CBDT. CBDT will give the rules. Next we discussed about the Finance Act. So now what is that examination related Finance Act, Mav? Finance Act 2025. Next we discussed about circulars, notifications. Circulars also will issued by the CBDT. And the rules, notification related to rules, CBDT. Notifications related to Act, central government. And we discussed about the case laws. And we started some discussion relating to sections. Section 1 already over. What is the short title for this entire Act? Income Tax Act 1961. What is the extent? Whole of India including Jammu and Kashmir. What is the applicability? Applicable from 1/4/1962. And next definitions we'll discuss it later. Previous year definition also we'll discuss it later. Now we can start with the charging section. Give the heading. So what is that? Point number 3. Point number 3. What is the section number 4 of Income Tax Act 1961? Now we have to discuss about the charging section. Shall we? Yes. First I will write it on that all the content in the charging section in a paragraph way first. Then after we can start the explanation. Okay. Please write along with me. Every person whose total income, every person whose total income of previous year, every person whose total income of the previous year exceeds maximum amount not chargeable to tax, is an Assessee, and he is chargeable to income tax, income tax at a rate specified in Finance Act at a rate specified in Finance Act relevant to the assessment year. So these are the three lines you have to remember. If I am asking now, definitely you can say, sir, how can I remember three lines, sir? But at the end of the session, we can target it. Okay. Now first, sir, everything, if you want to remember, definitely we want to highlight what are keywords. And now I want to know the keywords from this entire discussion. Please tell me what are the keywords we want to highlight from this entire discussion. Just first, directly Akka will go with the previous year assessment year, but read from the starting to ending. So now you can highlight the first keyword. I want to know about the person. Second keyword, total income. Third keyword, previous year. Fourth keyword, that is total, that is a maximum amount not chargeable to tax. That is nothing but what? One word only, the maximum amount not chargeable to tax. Next, I want to know about the Assessee. Then after rates. Then after Finance Act. Unfortunately, we discussed about Finance Act already. Union Finance Minister introduced the finance bill in both the houses of parliament after getting the assent from the both the houses of parliament, and next President of India, that bill converted into act. It will give the amendments for the both the taxation laws, that means direct taxation and indirect taxation laws, that already we discussed in the earlier concept itself. Next we need to know about the assessment here. Sorry, if you know this every keyword, then entire chapter will be over. But much discussion will involve in the rates. The much discussion we want to discuss about the what rates. Shall we? Yes. Now, person means, now we'll discuss a point. Yes, what do you mean by the person? Sir, now I want to know the definition of person. That's why we have to refer which section in Act 2. Which section we have to refer to? Section 2, subsection 31 is discussing the definition of a person. So definitely whenever we want to know the meaning of any word in the act, we want to refer the section 2. Now we are opening the section 2. Now we are discussing the definition. Yes. Many students doesn't know about income tax. There is one misconception. The only individuals, nothing but what? Male, female, major, minor, natural born person only is paying the income tax. That is a misconception. Companies are paying tax. Partnership firm also paying the tax. LLP also paying the tax. HUF also paying the tax. That means not only individuals, all are paying the tax. So person means many are thinking only individuals. That is incorrect. I have an salary income, I am paying the tax, but this institute is an artificial entity. If they got profit, they are also required to pay the tax. Understood? Now, this person definition they are given in the form of includes way. That means whatever now I am saying, these are all are includes in the definition of person. Okay? Now you have to by heart this. First, you know already individual. What is it? Individual. Second, family businesses. What is that? Hindu undivided family. So nothing but, so example, our family have a business, nothing but myself and my wife and 2 daughters. So these 4 persons are doing one family business. The head of the family is only called as what? Karta. The remaining all are called as an members. HUF. Next, you and me combinedly wants to do the business. So that's why we can establish a partnership firm or LLP. Do you know anything about limited liability partnership firm? Okay, I will tell you somehow company also. Now company means here only two types are domestic, foreign, not private, public. These are all the things are irrelevant here. The only for taxation purposes we want to check whether it is an Indian company or domestic company or foreign company. So simple ma. I want to do the business in a more expansion way. So that's why I want to upgrade from the partnership form to that LLP. Definitely, that is an LLP is an upgraded version of partnership form. It having the similar features of an private company. It is equal to what ma? Private company. So that means example ra, 20 partners are there. Can I run the partnership form ra? That is difficult ra. So that's why you can go with the LLP. It having the similar features like in which company ma? Private company. Now company means nothing but here we want to check only domestic, foreign. Next I will write it down one abbreviation AOP BOI. Anything you know about AOP BOI? AOP means association of persons. BOI means body of individuals. I will tell you what do you mean by the association of person. What do you mean by the body of individual. But remember AOP BOI. Next, local authorities. Already I think you know local authorities. Local self-government, panchayat, municipalities, corporations. Where we discussed these we discussed in that starting of the taxation introduction. The local authorities means local self-governments, which includes the municipalities, panchayat, corporations. At village level, panchayats; town level, municipality; city level, corporation. Now, next, cooperative society. What is that, ma? Cooperative societies. Just imagine, if there is no dairies, nothing but the milk dairies, that may be Heritage or Vijaya or Amul, Jersey, many are there. If that cooperative societies that mostly will be registered as an what cooperative society, if they are not presented in that market, what will be happen? Simply the milk rate will be later 10,000 to 20,000 also possible. Because what are middlemans are there, middlemans can take the more and more profit. That's why end user required to pay the what more amount to that product. In order to remove that all the middlemans, their objective the mainly they want to earn some profit, but they want to give the best products at a least possible cost. That is only the cooperative society's more main objective. That means you can assume they are also earning the profit, but that is a minimum profit they are earning. That means the cooperative societies means nothing but formed based on self-help basis. That means nothing but okay, for our customers I want to give the best product. Example, how the milk procured from the farmers in villages we have in dairies. Yes, daily they will collect the milk from the farmers and that will be processed into that yes different cities and it will be distributed to that what all the public. That is only the cooperative societies. The main you can imagine that milk cooperative societies. So they are also earning the profit. That's why they are required to pay tax. Next, the last one I will tell you AJ. AJP full form artificial. What is that AJP full form? Artificial judicial person. Artificial judicial person. AJP full form artificial judicial person. AJP full form artificial judicial person. Now, these two are one and the same. Just I am classifying it as a separately for our discussion. But in act, how many parts are there in the person definition? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. MCQ. In cmainter, they can ask anything as an MCQ. How many parts they are given in the person definition? 7. Sir, but you written 8, sir. Artificial judicial person example is an cooperative society. Artificial judicial person, one example is nothing but what? Cooperative society. In future, you can understood why I am written it as a separately also. Okay, right? Now, you know everything about this word except these two. AJP, AOP, BOI, you don't know anything. The remaining things somehow you know. Okay. Now our discussion turned out to the AOP, BOI. AOP, BOI. My full form, can you tell me, ma? Association of person. Association of persons. Here, body of individuals. Body of what, ma? Individuals. Simple, right? Here I am highlighting the word of person. Association means nothing but what? Combination, right? In person definition, whoever is there, they can combine together, they can do business, that is only AOP. So it means two companies, one HUF, one individual, they can combine with each other, they can do any business, that is only what? AOP. It is only simply in your foundation you learned it as a joint venture. You can learn it as an what? Joint venture. In person definition, whoever is there, they can combine as a members and they can do the business, that is only called as what? Association of person. Nothing but any person can become member in AOP. In where? AOP. Here we can discuss individuals. Individuals only become the members in where? BOI. Sir, 6 or 7 individuals want to associate with each other. They want to do the one business. That is what? Body of individuals. Individuals only can become members in BOI. Understood? Love you now. Please let me know. Now, sir, you are saying the AJP, sir. Artificial judicial person. To be honest, we don't know anything. I know that point. So that's why we'll discuss artificial. So natural or artificial? Artificial. We created intentionally this one. Artificial judicial person. Okay. If this is an artificial judicial person, listen. And RBI is there. RBI, Reserve Bank of India. They got profit. They are also required to pay the tax. Definitely. But is it covered in individual? HUF? Partnership firm? Company? AOP, BOI, local authority? No. Cooperative society? No. Whenever you don't have any classification, that should be classified under AJP. Trust. Charitable trusts are there. Can you classify charitable trust in any one of these parts? No. So that's why you can classify into AJP. Universities are there. Can you classify any autonomous universities into these? No. That's why you can classify it into AJP. That means I will give one name for the artificial judicial person. If you felt it as a wrong also, no problem. It is an residuary. Residuary means whenever you don't have any place in the other parts of the person definition, you need to classify under artificial judicial person. Can you tell me examples of this? Trust. Already we discussed one example. What is that, ma? Cooperative societies. What is that? Cooperative societies. The next one, universities. The many are there. Please remember this only, etc. Means nothing but the many also will come here. Now, okay. So, you know something about the person definition. That means whoever falls into the person definition, okay. We can take our own example. We can take our own example. Done a copy. Now, here we can do one exercise. Maybe in other words, we can call it as a by-hearting process also. Whatever you want to call it as, you can call, no problem. First, if I am asking the person definition, you have to say in order totally. The first one, individual, HUF, partnership form, LLP, company, AOP, BOI, local authority, cooperative society, AJP. AJP examples, one of the example is cooperative society, another one is nothing but trust, another one is an university. Who can become the members in AOP? Any person. Who can become the members in BOI? Only individuals. Understood? Now. So now, in my case, I am an individual. So now I am a person here. Please check my total income. Every person whose, which one we have to check? Total income, not weight and height. We have to check what? Total income. Now tell me, total income means what are the things we have to add in order to get my total income? Maybe I can get the multiple sources income. One is practice income, another one teaching income, another one salary income. Maybe my father given me some assets, I can sold that assets. Maybe I have a fixed deposit with the bank. Maybe I have a stock exchange related income. These are all the various sources of income I have. I can classify all the incomes into how many heads? 5 heads. We discussed what are the 5 heads? Salaries, house property, business or profession, capital gain, income from other source. Income from other sources, nothing but the residuary. Whenever you are not classifying any income into these 4 heads of income, that is classified into other sources. Example, lottery income is there. Can I classify it into salaries? No. House property? No. Business? No. Capital gain? No. Then you haven't place in other sources. That means how to calculate the total income. Now we can write it on it as a second point. That means whatever the highlighted points we are going to discuss in detailed manner. So now we can write it on the B. What is that B pointer? Total income. For every person we have to compute the what? Total income. So total income computation, now we can start. Particulars. Yes, sir, amount. We have to do in a proper format way. Total income computation. Now. Sir, I haven't maybe 101 incomes, but that all the 101 incomes into how many heads we have to classify? 5 heads only. How many heads, 5 heads. The first one is what? Income from salary. Second one, income from house property. Income from house property. Next one, income from business or profession. income from business or profession. This head having the shortcut name PCBP, profits or gains from business or profession. B means business, P means profession. Next one, capital gains. What is that, ma? Capital gains. Last one is income from other sources. I am only that person here. My, yes sir, my income there segregated into 5 heads. Listen carefully. But my minor children having that income, that my minor children income also should be clubbed, means added into my hands only. That separate chapter will be there, I will tell you. Other person's income, some cases, is taxable in your hands. That's why your income will increase or decrease? Increase. Others' income now taxable in your hands means we want to increase this by using the clubbing provisions. I think one chapter we have clubbing provisions chapter. In that chapter I will tell you in which cases we have to increase our total income by using the clubbing provisions. Last year I haven't lost. Can I set off that loss against these incomes? Yes. Set off of losses. Set off of what, losses. Because of losses set off, your income will decrease or increase? Decrease. That's why I given it as an what, less. Finally, you can call this as an gross total income. Sir, I computed all the incomes total, sir, after giving the clubbing provisions and set off provisions effect. From this, you can reduce the chapter 6A deductions. This is also one chapter in our index you can verify. If you read this chapter, what are the deductions you can claim? Deduction means nothing but it will reduce or increase. Reduce. That's why from that gross total income, we reduce the chapter 6A deductions. Gross, you reduced something, then you will get what? Net. Super intelligence. Net total income. On this net total income only, we required to pay the tax. We can call it as net total income, or sir, we can call it as what, net total income or net income or taxable income. On this income only we have to pay the tax. That's why it is called as what, taxable income or total income. Anything also you can call, no problem. These are all our names for this only. Net total income, taxable income, total income, anything also you can call, no problem. Done? Now we computed the total income. Shall we forward? Okay. Every person whose total income. Now I have a doubt. I need to compute the total income from childhood to old age. We need to compute the total income of a person from the childhood to old age, or in teenage, or 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years. For which period we have to calculate the total income? Please see the charging section, you will get an idea. Every person whose total income of which year we have to compute? Previous year. That means they are saying 1 year, that particular year total income only you have to compute, not the combined years related. Okay. Sir, we computed the total income of the previous year. In my case, it is just 1 lakh. It is just what, 1 lakh. So example, in Bhaskar case, it is what, he is having the 30 years of age. What is that? 1 lakh. So next, anyone that is Mr. X, he having the 45 years of age, he having the 15 lakh. Who is required to pay the tax now? Mr. X. Why? His total income of the previous year exceeds the basic exemption limit. In act they are given the one limit. What is that? One limit. Up to this limit, no need to pay the tax. If that limit exceeded, you are required to pay tax. That is only maximum amount not chargeable to tax. I will tell you simple example. In act they given the maximum amount, that means 0 to 1 amount. They are saying this is a maximum amount not chargeable to tax. That means below this you are no need to pay the tax. If exceeded this limit, you are required to pay the tax. I will tell you further what are the limits are. So what are the limits given? In other words, we can call these only as an what? Basically exempted limit. Maximum amount not chargeable to tax. In this case, I can say easily 2.5 lakh is an basic exemption limit. How much? 2.5 lakh is an basic example. Okay. Now, I am earning the below this or above? Below. But this fellow, total income of previous year exceeds the basic exemption limit or not? Yes. This is only the word exceeds. Now, here this is closer because no need to pay the tax. But he is required to pay what? Tax. He is required to pay tax. This fellow up to now is called as an what? Person. Hereafter is called as what? Assessee. He is called as an assessee. That is only every person whose total income of the previous year exceeds the maximum amount not chargeable to tax, that is an more than basic exemption limit, if he earned, then he is an assessee. In our case, who is an assessee? Mr. X is an assessee. Mr. X is an assessee. Understood? Now, remember, now person first, then if he required to pay the tax, then he will become as an whom? Assessee. The first person, the next he will become as an whom? Assessee. Okay. Now please let me know. Up to this you understood everything. Every person whose total income of which year? Previous year, if that exceeds the maximum amount not chargeable to tax, that is only called as what? Basic exemption limit is called as an assessee, and chargeable to income tax at the rate specified. That I will tell you after. Okay. Now we can go with some other point. Some other point. Yes, give it is as an C. Give it as an what? C. Write it down. General rule, very important. General rule or golden rule in taxation. In your accounting subject you have a golden rule. Like this, generally it is called as general rule, but I am giving it as a golden rule. Very important. Okay. In Income Tax Act 1961, year means always financial year, not calendar year. Year means always what? Financial year, not an calendar year. Now, remember, for our June as well as December 2026 exams, June as well as December 2026 exams. Previous year means what I will tell you. Previous year and next one ma assessment year. Previous year and next one ra assessment year. Listen. First I will tell you, then after you can copy ra. Two things ra. Already we know we are going to discuss the previous year and what ma assessment year. Financial years ra. Previous year 25 26 2025-26 assessment year 26-27 calendar year or financial year ma financial year. Now starting date it will start from 1/4/2025 ended with the what ma 31st March 2026. Okay, next time given it as an assessment year. Please write it down. The starting day and ending date 1/4/2026 to 31st March 2027. Okay, simple. In this year, if you earned any income, during that which year? Previous year. Can I pay the tax at the end of the year? Impossible. How can I pay the tax at the end of the year? The reason you have to close your books of account, you have to calculate your tax and you have to pay to the department. These are all the things are impossible on the last day of the year. So that's why Act saying that whatever that income earned during that previous year, on that you are required to pay the tax in which year? Assessment year. Payment of tax required to be done which year? Assessment year. Simply income earning year means previous year. The payment of tax year is called as what ma? Assessment year. Once again I am saying previous year immediately next year is called as assessment year always. Okay. For our examination, you have to remember these years. 25-26 is an previous year. 26-27 is an assessment year. What is a Finance Act applicable? Finance Act 2025. In Finance Act 2025, whatever the rates they given, that rates we have to follow for payment of tax. Whatever that Finance Act 2025 is there, that rates we have to follow. Now we can read. In our example, Mr. X is a person first. His total income how much ma? 15 lakh. Often previous year means which year? 25-26. Exceeds the basic exemption limit. So that's why he is an assessee. That means he required to pay the tax. What rates? Rates given in Finance Act. What is that Finance Act? 2025. Relevant to assessment year. That is assessment year what ma? 26-27. Simply, whenever you are required to pay the tax, you have to pay the tax in assessment year by using the rates given in Finance Act related to that assessment year. What is that Finance Act related to this assessment year? 2025. Understood? Now, what is a golden rule, general rule? Always you have to remember income and during the previous year, income and during the previous year on which tax needs to pay in assessment year. Done? Whatever that income earned during the previous year, on that income we are required to pay the tax in assessment year. Which will come first? Income earning will come first. Then after you are required to pay the tax. Understood? Yes, now we'll define the previous year and we'll define the assessment year also in detailed way now. Many students doesn't have a basic knowledge also. What do you mean by the previous year? Previous year means they are thinking it as a past year. No, in this now we are earning means that is a present year. They are giving it as a name as in previous year only. When it will be become previous year, now if you situated in an assessment year, that is previous year for you. Understood? Yes, వస్తుందరా? మా రిటనా what is that golden rule or general rule ma? If any income earned during the previous year on which we are required to pay the tax in assessment year, now we can write it on the previous year and assessment year definitions ra. Previous year definition in which section ra? మొహం పగిలిపోద్ది. Section 3. Section 3 is definition of previous year. Remaining all defined in section 2 only. Yesterday I discussed, now you are saying reverse. Okay, no problem. ఇప్పుడు తిట్టను రా, ఒక 5 days తర్వాత స్టార్ట్ చేస్తా. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు ఏమన్నాం, కొంచెం సైలెంట్గా ఉంటా తర్వాత. Now I will define the previous year first. Section number అన్న section 3. Define. First of all, it is in financial year or calendar year? Financial year. In which you earn the income. In which you earn the income is called as what ma? Is called as previous year. Now please let me know the present previous year. The present previous year is 2025-26. My previous year means always it contains how many months? 12 months. Can you tell me 1/4/2025 to 31st March 2026, right? But this having some exceptions. This having some exceptions. What are the exceptions? I will tell you. I joined in job in August month. That means I am generating my salary income from which month? August month. Now that means previous year I have to check from the 1/8/2025. That means August onwards to the last day 31st March 2026. Now it is less than 12 months or more than 12 months? Less than 12 months. That means when it will be possible? New source of income. New source of income started from just I am taken the example 1/8/2025 you started the one earning of new source of income. Before that you don't have any income, so that's why for you previous year will be less than how many months? 12 months. One more example. I started my institute in the June month, not in April. That means new business or profession. B by P means nothing but what? Business or profession started from 1/9/2025. Example. Just random date I am taken. Before that, you don't have any business. You don't have any income also. Just you started that. Now for you, previous year will be, what is that, ma? 1/9/2025 to 31st March 2026. That means exceptional means in these cases, previous year is nothing but what, ma? Less than how many months, ma? 12 months. Generally it will always containing the 12 months, but in these two exceptional cases the previous year is less than how many months, ma? 12 months. Understood? A previous year definition. Income earning year is called as what, previous year. Income earning year is called as what, ma? Previous year. Dana. Next, give the heading for that. Next, what is that? Previous year. Next year is what, ma? Assessment year. Please give the heading. Assessment year. Sir, assessment year definition from section 2, but I don't want to tell you all the subsections in section 2. So directly, please written it as in section 2. Okay. This is also, first you have to tell me, it is in financial year or calendar year? Financial year, in which you pay the tax. You pay the tax is called as what? Assessment year. The present assessment year for our examinations. The present assessment year for our examination is 2026 to 27. There is no exception for this. Always how many months, ma? 12 months. Always how many months, ma? 12 months. Understood? The previous year assessment year also understood. That means every person can earn the income in the previous year. On that he required to pay the tax in assessment year by using the rates provided in the Finance Act related to assessment year. Generally, the assessment year only is important for paying the tax. Understood? Now, ma copied up to now. So here I want to frame one sentence. Okay, we can frame it later. If it is copied, please let me know. Then we can go to that one more discussion and we can close the session for today. Now you have a doubt, sir. Whatever you said, we understood, sir. But what is that maximum amount not chargeable to tax for all persons? Then only we can decide whether he is an assessee or not. Example, if any person having the total income of previous year, if this exceeds this limit, then only we can call this person as an assessee. Now we have to check the basic exemption limit. In Act technical word is what? Maximum amount not chargeable to tax. Up to this limit, no need to charge any tax. Over and above, if you earn, you have to pay the tax. Shall we discuss this point? Maximum amount not chargeable to tax. Yes. What is the point number? C is over. Now we have to discuss the what? D. Maximum amount not chargeable to tax. Maximum amount not chargeable to tax. In shortcuts, what we can call basic exemption limit. Basic exemption limit. basic exemption limit. Okay. First, in person definition, whoever we have, for them, I will tell you the basic exemption limit one by one. First, who we have, individual, right? Don't copy anything, just listen. Yes, ma, individual, right? Don't copy, just listen. I think you know, individual, we have to classify whether he is a resident or non-resident. More number of days if he is situated in India, resident, otherwise non-resident. Okay, now if an individual is an non-resident, we can classify it as an first point. Okay, next, individual, if he is a resident, we want to give the separate treatment. That to resident having the less than or equal to 60 years, normal person. Less than or equal to how many years? 60 years. Next category, second, individual, already non-resident without age over. Always non-resident will be in this category only, whether he having that 100 years, 200 also. But the age factor is for whom? Resident. Now, resident, already how many years age is over? Less than 60. But if he having the more than or equal to 60 years, less than 80 years, this fellow is called as an what? Senior citizen. I think you can use the name in a way. Generally also, when we can call it as senior citizen, exactly 60 years also senior citizen. You have to remember this point. Today I got 60 years. I am a senior citizen from now. Not, yes sir, if you have a less than 60 at any time, then normal only. Otherwise, third one, individual, what is that? Individual, resident, already what are the things over? Less than 80 over, more than or equal to 80 years. Senior citizen is over. Next word, super or very senior citizen. Definitely, I want to tell you the basic exemption limit separately to that every category. We classified only in person definition. Whom? In person definition, as of now we classified individual. How many categories we classified? 3. Individual non-resident, individual normally resident. Next, individual resident senior citizen, individual resident super senior citizen. Understood? Next, who we have? HUF. That will be first category only. HUF, resident or non-resident, first category. Next, we have an whom? Partnership form, LLP. Please check the person definition. All we are going to write. Individual over, HUF over, partnership form is over. Next one, company. Okay, in fourth category I am written. Company. Next one, AOP, BOI. I am writing in the first category. AOP, BOI. Next one, local authority. In fourth category I am writing. Local authority. Next one, cooperative society. I am written here. Cooperative society. Next, AJP. I am written here. All are written or not? Okay, that means every person basic exemption limit. Now I am telling. Okay. My first 3. Listen. First 3 means individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. That means first 3 categories, they can follow the 2 types of tax rates. 2 types of tax rates. First one is an 115 BAC. That means you can follow these rates if you want. Okay. I don't want to follow the 115 BAC rates, sir. I will tell you what is that 115 BAC rates also. There are two options given for payment of tax. If you want to follow this, yes. Otherwise, normal. Otherwise, what normal. Or this is only optional. Normal or what old, or we can call it as what optional also. Yes, sir. How many types of regimes are there? Two. You can follow 115 BAC. It is only the default one. Mandatorily or definitely you have to follow this only. But if you want to shift from this to this, yes, possible. Now, under 115 BAC, what is the basic exemption limit? 4 lakh. How much, 4 lakh for the all. No need to check the resident or non-resident. Yes, also no need to check. Always under this 115 BAC. Sir, I am an individual. I want to follow the 115 BAC regime for payment of tax. What is the basic exemption limit? 4 lakh. No, sir. I want to follow old or normal. Then for this first category, 2.5 lakh. Second category, 3 lakh. Third category, 5 lakh basic exemption limit. That means here we are considering the age. We are considering the what age and residential status also. We are considering the age and residential status. Next here for them the basic exemption limit always what nil. That means if you have a minimum income also you are required to pay the tax. Who have a basic exemption limit? Individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP only having the basic exemption limit. What is the default tax regime for that individual HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP 115 BAC? Under this always 4 lakh is a basic exemption limit. Next, in optional or old, in question they will tell you which regime is followed by the Assessee also. Yes, if you follow the old, yes in this first category, what is the basic exemption limit? 2.5. If he is a senior citizen, how much 3 lakh. Super senior citizen or very senior citizen, 5 lakh. Company, partnership firm, LLP, local authority, what is that? Nil. Understood? Yes. So I will share this PDF to all of you in a Telegram group, then you can copy slowly. Basic exemption limit means simply, yes, you can remember this, but advancedly I am saying the 4 lakh thing also. For that whom we have in two regimes, individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP, only two regimes. For the partnership firm, only one thing. What is that? Nil. Basic exemption limit is nil.